Welcome in, everyone, to Cloaks and Capes Monday campaign, the Knights of the Arcanum. Thank you very much for joining us. Before we get started, I do want to give a quick thank you to Critical Role for the wonderful world they have created that our campaign is taking place in, as well as to Reliquary Records, whose music you'll hear tonight in the show. You can find them on all major streaming platforms. Just search for Reliquary Records or Rodimus Zero. So, last time, on our last session, the group, these heroes, these chosen few, decided to leave Rexentrim, and they were going to head north to the elven city of Baise Tile, after being informed from the mysterious Mr. Black that there was an assassination plot that was afoot. They thought that if they could at least head there, whether they're going to stop it or not, I suppose this is up to them. But this assassination plot could end up being the great change that they're looking for. On the way there, they ran into a dragonborn illusionist by the name of Balthazar the Amazing that Kieran seems to have some history with. They traveled for a few hours before coming across the wreckage of two caravans, where a battle had taken place. Some innocents lay slain, and they met with a blood hunter from the Claret Order named Katra Trueblood. She explained to the group that she was hunting a werewolf, and they aggressively volunteered themselves to help her, to which she reluctantly agreed. Upon finding the werewolf, Raven Trueblood, Katra's wife, in the forest, it seemed that Raven just wanted to be left alone, just wanted to go somewhere far to the north and live out her days in seclusion. Katra then showed up, and the party changed their allegiance, deciding that they were going to help Raven instead. And as arguments were being had, and in the heat of the moment, as Balthazar yelled, "Do something!" Kieran did something and shot an Eldritch Blast at Katra, triggering Kieran's wild magic and dropping a level 3 fireball on the entire party. Kieran's down, Rosalind's down, Luster is gone, and everyone else is not looking very good. So, we're going to jump in right there, and I'm going to need Alia to go ahead and roll initiative for me.
All right, time to use an inspiration for initiative.
I rolled a 1 on my initiative. That's good for a 2. Oh. Aw, Celticrow, thank you so much for the gift sub. Who's that inspo going to? Look, you need this. All right, cool. I get an inspo.
It's dangerous. Take this.
Take this inspo.
All right, 20.
Probably right with you. I'm trying to... I should have did this beforehand, but I wasn't paying attention to Leo's picture in his...
Leo, what's your dex?
Order.
+5.
Okay, hopefully it's better than Katra's.
Alright, so... Leo and Hermia are
Katra.
there. Yo. 21. Hermia... 10.
I'm 20. I had rolled twice because of inspiration.
Okay, so if you are going to roll in roll 20, if you select your token before you do it, it will automatically populate it into the turn order.
Oh. Does it let me? Oh, I see that. I'm sorry. I just saw
it's
that.
fine,
okay.
It's fine.
I'll do it for next time.
Yeah, roll 20 is not intuitive. It doesn't really tell you you can do that.
Oh, look who's the only one with a single-digit initiative.
Is it Rosalind?
Yeah, I got a 2.
All right, so we got Leaf, Leo, Hermia, Kieran got a 12.
I mean, I'm
Think
on
of
the
it
ground,
this
so
way.
technically that's a good thing.
Yeah, you're already
longer time
dead.
till I throw a death saving throw.
All right, is everybody on the turn order? Leo,
Not me.
Contra. What did you roll?
Yes.
2.
Wow.
Well, I rolled a 1, but I get a 2.
Yeah. I'm even going to let Luster go before you, and Luster's dead.
I didn't even get to say what Luster's thing was.
I
Yeah.
totally forgot Luster's dead.
Yep, everybody be sad. Be sad and butthurt.
Hey, Robbie.
Yep.
If I make good berries, can we use those to get people up?
Chris,
What?
you can certainly try.
Does it not work? I have no idea.
Alright, so, Kieran just shot an Eldritch Blast at Katra, who kind of put her arm up, blocked the brunt of it, but still took damage. And then, what's everyone's passive perception?
16.
16.
10.
18.
You're on
14.
Alright,
Hey, you're right.
it's hard for you, Leaf, because she's on top of you, but you would have felt or where it originated from. Maeve and Leo.
Yeah.
Surprised by Kieran suddenly firing it, obviously looking to her
fire.
in gasp, you do notice that the origin point of this fireball does come from the card case that Kieran carries her playing cards in, as suddenly a massive explosion rocks the battlefield. Luster vanishes in a poof of sparkles in twilight. Rosalind hits the ground. Kieran falls down on Leaf's back. Leaf, I will allow you right now to use a reaction to attempt to kind of control where Kieran is falling, because she is going to fall off of you. So I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Okay, so
Sick.
His face plant.
So you feel Kieran collapse down onto your body, and as you kind of try to maneuver a little bit to see what's happening, she rolls off the back and falls into the fog and whatever
fuck.
that is behind you.
Oh shit, that's a cliffhang?
Yeah.
You're not sure. That's where the fog is kind of rolling out of. You have no idea what's down there.
Okay.
Okay. With that, Leo, it's your turn.
Huh.
Everyone,
with your
calm
passive
the
perception,
fuck down.
you also would have noticed Kieran fall. Yeah.
Oh.
But anyway, yeah, sorry, go ahead. Didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good. Everyone calm the fuck down. And I'm gonna actually, since I'm worried about Kieran, fucking
Look over.
Geronimo.
Okay.
What?
Leo, hopping in, you fall. Give me a dexterity saving throw here.
Oh, fucking A.
My God.
No rope?
Are we speed running this game?
Are we lemmings?
TPK. TPK.
Freaking A.
Natural 20.
Okay.
Okay.
You're not sure how far down it is, but you're bracing yourselves for a long drop. But you actually only drop down about 15 feet before you hit the ground. It seems like whatever caused the collapse here, it wasn't very far. It's a little bit more of like sinkhole-esque. So it's very uneven and jagged down here. But as soon as you land and start to look around, you do see Kieran's body down there.
Okay. I'm going to message back up to Maeve. Try to get everybody to follow me.
Okay. Well,
Um,
I can send that back. I will.
We'll say that that's your movement and your bonus action. You still have an action if you want to try and do something with Kieran.
Can I pick him up?
Yep. You don't have like a. They are still currently dying. If you want to
Yeah.
try and either
Medicine roll?
stabilize with a medicine check, or if you have a potion that you could feed them.
I do have one potion. I'll feed him my only potion.
All right, 2d4 plus 4? 2? I always forget what basic healing potions are.
2d4 plus 2.
There you go.
But when I do that and they're coming back, I'm putting my hand around their mouth
Okay.
so they
Can you
don't
guys hear me
talk.
now?
Yes, we
To
can hear you.
Eldritch Rag.
We can hear you, Kieran. Can you hear us?
Yes, I just realized I didn't actually turn on my microphone, so I'm like, why is no one responding to what I'm saying?
Well, because you were unconscious, that's why.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, I'm dead.
Just
Right, yeah.
playing really hard.
So,
Very good role player.
Kieran, go ahead and roll 2d4 plus 2, and as you come back to consciousness suddenly, Leo claps his hand over your mouth. On Katra's turn, with both of her long swords out, she kind of just looks down at you all a little bewildered and just mutters, "Children." I need Maeve, Hermia, Balthasar, and Leaf.
Yeah.
Let me double check here. No, I can't do all of them. Hermia, Maeve, and Leaf. I need all of you to make a Constitution saving throw as you watch Katra put her sword along her arm and just slice down along the top of her forearm, the blood coming out and just kind of being suspended in the air for a minute as she mutters something out of her breath. The blood turns into these 3 needles within the air, and each one of them shoots out towards each of you, sticking into your chest, your shoulder, your neck.
Ew!
Well, we're gonna use another inspo, because I don't like that. Hold on, I can actually do this. Con, right?
Yes.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
And she takes 12 damage.
Sorry.
Why are you sorry you rolled the natural 20?
I did? Oh, I meant to do inspo, but I guess we'll just never mind. I didn't do it right to make it inspo, so that's fine. I'll just keep
All right,
that.
so all of you, as that needle of blood seems to sort of sink in, you feel your entire body begin to sort of seize up and grow heavy. Maeve and Hermia, you're able to shake it off, but Leaf, your speed is reduced to 0, and you cannot use reactions. You can repeat that saving throw at the end of each of your turns.
Okay.
That was a bonus action. So now she's going to come down here towards Balthazar. And
She's going to cast murder.
Yeah.
Power word kill.
that is... that might actually miss. Oh, no, nope. Probably not, because he is... yeah, nope, that hits. Yay for mage armor, or mage armor class.
Yeah.
Mage lack of armor.
Yep, and so Hermia, as you're just kind of sitting there bewildered, you watch as she goes around you and just walks up with the hilt of her sword and just clocks Balthazar right on the nose. And he just kind of lets out a "Ugh!" as he crumples to the ground.
Oh boy.
He's dead?
Does she not get a opportunity attack?
She hasn't left Hermia's,
Yeah,
Oh,
she has to
okay.
leave
Yeah.
my,
Hasn't left it. Okay.
yeah, she has to leave.
That's fair.
let me just double check something here really quick, see if using the rights takes an action or not. Sorry, Crimson Right. No, you just get to invoke it. Okay. She turns towards you, Hermia. What would you say Hermia's feeling right now?
Confused and scared as fuck because Liam just jumped off a cliff.
Okay.
Everyone's dying.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30. She moves away from you, Hermia. You can take an attack of opportunity if you want.
Sure, I just kind of like blindly just swing my sword at her.
Okay. And as she walks away and you swing your sword, you hear your sword going, "Get her! Attack! Yes!"
Put me in her.
Nope, and this is 2 plus whatever, it doesn't hit.
Yeah, you kind of swing wide, and Katra notices you swing at her, but doesn't even give you a second look as she heads over towards Maeve. And Maeve,
Hermes just cries.
as she walks towards you now, you notice ice and frost begin to gather on her blades.
Okay.
And she's going to take 2 attacks at you.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a 21 and a 27.
Yeah, they both hit.
It's only 6 right now. All right, so you take 14 slashing damage and 2 cold damage.
Okay, I'm at 1.
Yep. And then taking the hilt of her sword, she just punches you in the face with the other one, and you take another 6. Or no, you're out. Either
Did I
way.
take 3 attacks?
2 attacks. The first one was slashing with cold damage. Then you took the second one, which was another 13 slashing, 6 cold.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm out.
And Maeve falls to the ground as Katra turns and looks up towards you, Leaf. Maeve, you do not have to make death saving throws because that attack was non-lethal. You were simply unconscious.
Okay.
Same for Balthazar. Kieran, you can't see yourself. Hold on a sec. So you can go ahead and, however much HP you healed for, you can go ahead and revive yourself. But you are now in Leo's arms with a hand over your mouth.
Don't scream.
What? Oh, that's so creepy.
Yeah, that's
That
just gonna make.
is
I'm gonna scream even harder.
Immediately screaming.
All right, muffled through
Me-
Leo's hand.
We don't start with that.
Stupid fucker.
Don't start with that.
All right, what are you doing, Kieran?
I mean, how forceful is Leo being? Like,
I'm not really holding you. Like, I'm just like,
God.
don't make a sound, please.
Okay. I'm just like looking around at the cliff. Can I see the fight up top, or are we that far down?
I would say that you can probably see Leaf's direwolf tail swishing above you, but that's about it.
I'm like,
It's 15 feet up.
what? I think I'm confused right now. Yeah, I just looked to Leo. Like, what the fuck happened?
Is that in my head or outside your? Wait.
Oh yeah. And then I'm going to. I'll take a dodge action. I don't really know.
Okay.
What
Yep.
else to
All right.
do
So yeah,
here.
you're just down to trying to collect your wits. On Raven's turn, looking around and seeing that her would-be protectors are all falling one by one. Hermia and Leaf, you look over. She's kind of like backed into a corner, and her hands start to dig into the marble of the ruins, and you watch as they start to elongate. And bones begin to
shit.
pop, and her muscles
Oh,
start
boy.
to expand, and fur starts to sprout out as she lets out a howl. And turns into a werewolf.
Oh shit.
And is currently standing over top of Rosalind's unconscious body.
Ow.
Oh, Rosalind's unconscious too?
Yeah, I got knocked out by the fireball.
Technically, Rosalind's
Rosalind's
dying. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm currently dying. That should be more accurate.
I
Yeah.
was gonna help with that, but
You don't have an X on you. I couldn't understand.
And she is going to go ahead and make 3 attacks. Starting with a shove attack towards Katra. That is a natural 20.
Oh, good. She's one of those sentient werewolves.
Too bad shove attacks don't actually do damage. So she's going to shove Katra back 10 feet. And Leo and Kira, you can now look up after hearing this howl and see Katra just sort of like hitting the edge of this and like trying to catch her balance. As Raven moves up and takes another swing. And that's going to hit. Four, 5, for 12 damage. As she knocks Katra off, and boom, she hits the ground about 5 feet from you, Leo. Take another 6 damage, wind knocked out of her. And then that was, what? 10. And then you guys here climb up here and begin to book it out over towards the forest. Hermia, it's your turn.
Hermia is going to ignore her sword screaming for blood and rush over to Rosalind and like pull out a like healing potion and just dump it in her mouth. That sounded really dirty. I didn't mean it that way, but yeah.
Okay.
It's appreciated.
Rosalind, 2d4 plus 2.
Yes. Slash roll 2d4 plus 2. 5.
All right. 5 HP as you come back to life
All
to
right.
see Balthazar down, Maeve down, and no
Hermia's
sign
just crying.
of...
Like, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up!
Wait, so do I not wake up until the werewolf is gone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Just kill the werewolf then.
Yeah, that looked nothing like what you killed.
Yeah, I know, but she didn't see it.
Yep. All right. Hermia, so you would have moved over here. You still have some movement if you want, and a bonus action.
Hermia's like too freaked out to like really do anything except get Roz up, and then
Okay.
she's just crying like, I don't know what to do!
Leaf,
Everything's
your turn.
terrible!
You cannot move.
Okay. So. I'm going to use a bonus action to turn back into my normal leaf form.
Okay.
So I'll get smaller. Yeah, right there. And then as my action, can I look through Balthazar's pockets and stuff to see if he has a healing potion on him?
Make
Or any
an
potion?
investigation check.
You a
good.
healer?
Yeah, dice. Ooh, really good.
3 and 2.
Okay.
What is today?
You pick up his sack, and it doesn't feel like it has anything in it, so you're like, no, there's no way he has a healing potion, and you just throw it back down on him.
Well,
I tried.
I shall end my turn.
All right, make a saving throw, Constitution saving throw. All right,
16.
you are able to shake off the effects of the blood curse.
Okay.
Rosalind.
Rosalind lets out a groan of pain as she like forces herself back up to her feet and kind of
What's your
limps.
passive perception, just out of curiosity?
10.
Okay, never mind.
She's gonna force herself up and just grunt and kind of limp over towards Maeve and reach down and just start laying hands for to pump 10 HP into Maeve.
Maeve, you have 10 HP as you are brought back to consciousness.
Oh,
You're okay.
that's a word that you could use.
You're alive.
Yeah, I am that. That's all
Why
I've
is
got for my
there
turn.
There's a werewolf!
All right, Leo,
There's a werewolf.
back around
Oh
to
yeah.
you.
How would you describe the area we're down here? Is this like just open area, or is it like, will it fall down farther?
You're not sure, but you don't seem any other holes or anything like that.
Okay.
You have no idea how structurally stable it is.
I'm gonna message to Kieran. It's like, just get back up if you can to the top. And I'm gonna pull out my bag of ball bearings, and I'm going to like scatter them in front of me so it makes it difficult terrain, like between me and Katra. And I'm going to start making my way up.
Okay.
Making my way.
Make a athletics check for me, please.
18 plus
That's more than enough
minus
to be able
one.
to climb up. So yeah, we'll say you get just to the top, and you have another 5 feet of movement left.
I'm just gonna stick here and like put my hand out to Kieran to help him up.
All right, on Katra's turn, she's going to kind of, you watch her as she like hits the ground in frustration and then jumps back up to her feet. And then you watch as she runs towards the edge of the wall, and without even touching it with her hands, just basically runs up to the top of it.
Fuck.
She rolled a natural 20 on her athletics. She she looks around at all of you. Stay out of my way. And she's going to use her other action to run off into the woods after her wife.
Okay.
Her wife?
Maeve!
Yeah. Okay. Well, I see where Leo is. I'm gonna walk over to him and hand him my climber's kit to help Kieran get back up.
Yeah, so you can drop a rope down. Kieran, go ahead and make... Now you'd see enough. With both of them, you're able to use the rope. They pull you back up to the top.
I forgot I had a climber's kit. It's pretty useful.
Does anyone plan on chasing either of them down?
Fuck no.
No.
Okay,
Yes.
So...
Leaf? No.
No. Leaf says yes.
If Leaf wants to, I'm gonna suggest no.
Alright, so as they disappear into the woods, a quiet falls over the forest. Balthazar is still unconscious.
He's on the list.
What would you like to do now?
And like Kieran runs
We all
over.
suck. We tried to like fight shit, and then we blew up, and then people started falling off ledges.
Lick our
Can I
wounds.
revive Balthazar?
Are we still on turn order? I'm sorry.
No, we're
No,
out
okay.
of turn order now.
Can I help? If anyone wants to help Balthazar, but I was gonna give him a healing potion.
Yes, so
Okay.
Oh.
if you want to give him a healing potion, that's fine.
Yep.
2d4 plus 2.
Let me just get rid of it in my inventory.
Yep, so as you...
How do I consume it?
you
here
can
it
just
is.
delete it from your inventory as well. So as you
Yeah,
administer the healing potion to him, suddenly he comes...
You're okay.
What?
Werewolf is gone. Hunter is gone.
He frantically looks around until he sees Kieran. I meant run, not shoot her!
Kieran like
Blow us up!
he ran over there and like he was sobbing at first because he thought Balthazar died. So he's like red look up his stream. He's like,
Yeah, he literally stands up and just shoves you away. Get away from me! You're cursed! You're trouble! All of you! And just starts trying to like his tux is ruined. By the way. And he's trying to just straighten it out and like dust it off, and he's not a happy camper.
"Will he?
Wait,
will he
Kieran,
let
you
me-
tried to blow us up?
What?
He has a deck of... What is your deck of cards? I've never seen something like that before.
I don't know. It's just my thing.
It's where the fire
a
came
dragon?
from. I don't right now, but yes, that's where the fire came. I saw.
She attacked. She's the one who attacked.
That's true.
I mean,
But-
I thought you shot first.
Well, yeah, I shot her, and then she shot us, and then.
But why did you try to blow us up?
I didn't try to blow us up. What are you talking about?
The fire that came from your deck of cards.
I saw it too, Kieran. So no more
Thank you.
bullshitting.
I thought we were friends.
We just want to understand what happened.
We are friends. I swear to God, guys. Like, I just shot a normal thingy, pew pew, and then she was like, rah, and then yeah.
Okay, well, I thought we agreed the code phrase was, oh shit, get your weapons out. And no one said it. Oh.
New to the group, so maybe he didn't know. Oh wait, no, we said that earlier.
Do I see him have the deck of cards, or is it hidden at this point?
Where do you keep your deck of cards, Kieran?
I usually, I keep
Do
it.
you have like a card
pretty
holster?
close. Yeah, it's under my desk.
Fucking Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah. It's hit, but it's kind of hidden unless like yeah.
Yeah, so you can't currently see it.
Okay. I just kind of look at Kieran a little disappointed.
I give like
It's
the
just
disappointed
sad.
dad
Thinks
look
you tried to
too.
murder her.
By the
Is
way,
there
you're
not-
cutting in and out really bad.
Yeah.
1 second.
All right. Well, let's try and make sure it's safe around here. And then I gotta sit down for a moment. I don't feel so good.
I think we all could
Balthazar
use
is sitting
some
at the
rest.
top of the stairs, just like wheezing.
It might be good if we can get back to the main road.
Yes.
Yeah, if we can get
I
back
agree.
to the carts.
Back to the road, back to the horses, back to the carts, and I never want to see any of you ever again.
All right. Does everyone feel at least healthy enough to make the trip back to the carts?
Do you need help,
Yeah.
Rosalind?
I'll be fine.
Is this better?
I can hear you.
Yes.
Yeah. I heard your full sentence. Let's put it that way.
So as all of you begin the trek, licking your wounds, back towards the cart,
I try to help Rosalind prop up, but Maeve's too short, so she just kind of gives up.
Balthazar does mention, you'll remember before we came out here, that person who mentioned that we shouldn't be messing with werewolves and bloodhunt. Oh yes, that was me!
Yes.
Thank you for the reminder.
Thank you, Balthazar, for reminding us that you were right.
Thanks,
I-
Barty.
I didn't pick it up the first 5 times. Ugh.
Someone screws up your order at a restaurant, you get pissy, don't you?
You guys make it back to the carts. Your horses, still where you left them.
Oh, thank
Oh,
God.
thank God.
The bad scream!
Hey, I tied them up!
I know! We made sure. Hermie and I made sure of it.
Rosalind's gonna go over and just kind of get on the cart and just flump onto her back. Be like, all right, I'm gonna rest here now.
Balthazar attaches his horse back to his cart and, without saying anything else, just takes off.
Okay.
Oh.
Aaron starts talking to him.
Are you on his cart?
Did he let you get on his cart?
You asked me.
And as you climb up, he just puts his finger right in your face. No. Goodbye. And pushes you off. And then takes off on the cart.
Kieran's actually quiet for once, and he just slinks off to the other cart.
Alright, Maeve's gonna also sit near the cart.
Near the cart or on the cart? Are we getting on the cart?
I'm getting
Yeah.
on the cart.
There's enough room for everybody on the cart. It's just
Yeah.
cramped.
Hermia curls up in a ball in the back of the cart, and it's just sad.
All right. And as everyone climbs in there, Rosalind flumped down. Hermia crumpled up in a ball. You hear in your head, Hermia, pathetic.
I'm a loser!
Can I make tiny luster yet?
What's the? Is there a
Well, it's
cooldown
not
on
a
that?
so it's not like actual luster. It's not fighting.
Right, yeah. So
Yeah.
once you get back, you're able to summon Luster back from inside your cloak.
I
and,
hug him very tightly.
and he
Uh,
whines.
Very, very tightly. And in
Whines
fact, look a
and
little
whispers.
shaken by his disappearance.
Yep.
Is
But don't
that
say
Whines
anything
and
else.
whispers a little bit.
is that Luster 2?
Huh?
Is that Luster 2? We lost Luster 1.
No, it's not like that. This is him for real. He as a drake, he doesn't really die. Not anymore.
Rosalind
Oh,
pushes
that's
up into it.
ominous.
Yeah. Rosalind pushes up into like a sitting position. All right. So that went really badly. And I know we're new together. It happens. Kieran, we need a little bit more warning when you're about to do big fireball magic. Okay? It's awesome that you can do it. I love that you can do it. I think it's great. But we need some warning.
Or at least not near us.
No, look. I'm just as confused as you are because I can't do fireball magic shit. That's not my thing.
Okay.
That's why
Okay.
Can I
Here,
insight check?
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Hermia thinks that. Oh my god! I just threw my dice in my coffee. What is wrong
20.
with me?
I get automatic advantage.
I'll
I
bring
rolled
that
20,
full
dirty
one in
20.
there.
Okay. Jesus Christ, Katie.
That coffee dice is
Stuck at everything.
okay. That's kind of funny though.
Oh.
I got a 19 plus 4.
Okay, I got a dirty 20.
Yeah, so Kieran seems legitimately confused as to why
Okay.
a fireball spell went off.
Okay.
Okay.
Well then, I saw it came from your deck. What is that deck? I thought it was just a deck of cards, but clearly it's not.
I mean, it is a deck of cards, but it's kind of like my like Hermia's sword, except I don't talk to it. It's just like my
Magic item.
yes.
You have a magic deck of cards. Okay, but so sometimes it makes magic happen.
Sometimes it casts fireball.
No, it don't. It's only supposed to help me do what I want it to do.
This isn't the first time, Kieran, that it's like that wild magic has happened. You know that like sometimes
Yeah.
weird shit happens, but it's never done anything like this before to
Yeah,
this degree.
Like it's like sometimes there's some things, but never like that. Like I've like
Okay.
that's why I'm trying to tell you that was not me.
Well, how does that? Is it? I guess. Help me out here. How does it work?
I don't know. To be completely honest with you, they're just kind of cool, and they let me do cool shit, and I just like make them float in my hands. I don't know. Like
Well, Rosalind holds up her torched arm. Okay, well, this wasn't cool shit. This hurt. So you need to give us something here.
I get that, but I mean, you're asking me to explain what the magic is. Like, what are you asking me? It's just
Okay,
like there are magic items in the world.
right.
This
Let's start
is
with this.
no-
Where did you get it?
Right. Was it gifted? Did you make it?
I don't care if you stole it. That's fine if
Yeah,
you did.
whatever,
Just tell
just-
me where you got it.
How'd you get it?
It was. Yeah. I bought it.
Okay,
Okay.
you got it. Did you know what it was when you got it?
I just thought, well, I knew it was a deck of cards. Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
it just honestly, it was the box. Like, can you see this carving? Like, just beautiful. And
you can
I was-
describe what the card back looks like. Like
yeah, so it's just a rosewood box with like intricate carvings.
Blue
I
Eyes
guess,
White
like-
Dragon.
What's kind of the style of the intricate dragons?
Robbie, would you say there's like runic magic symbol? Kieran wouldn't know.
Is
He's just like-
anyone trained in history?
I think I am.
I am.
I am.
No, you're not.
I am.
All right.
Oh,
Maybe.
I'm
I
not.
don't know.
Sorry. No, I'm not. I'm not trained. I thought I was. I'm
All
trained
right,
in
so-
religion.
Hermia, go ahead and make a history check. Leaf, are you?
Why did I think
I
I was
am.
trained in religion?
Trained in history?
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
Make a history check.
I'm trained in religion, not history. I keep forgetting that.
I got an 18.
Okay.
Is this what it feels like to be Callie?
Okay,
I don't
you're not
like
wrong,
it.
but ouch. Yes, it is. This is exactly what it feels like.
You guys don't recognize the.
18?
Nope, you do not. Unfortunately, recognize the. Culture isn't the right word, but you're not sure where it comes from.
Okay.
But the few things that you do make out on there is a rose. There is also what looks like a feather of some sort.
Okay.
and some white claws.
Fair enough. Religion wouldn't help me?
Nope.
Okay, just making sure.
All right.
Would animal handling help me?
No.
No, nature would be better than that. Comes from wood. So, okay. So, Kieran, you received this in some fashion, and how does it work exactly?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like when I do my stuff, like it just reacts to my magic. I don't know. I don't know how to explain like magic like you guys. So this is very weird. Like I just do it. I don't know how else to say it. It's just it reacts to my magic. It helps me do my magic.
Do you when you like do you have some control over it normally? Like, does it do what you want it to do?
Yeah. Like,
Okay.
and like sometimes there's like, oh, I just like there's bubbles around me, or there's some sprinkles and glitter or whatever. But
So-
not that. That's why, like, I don't think this is the right conversation to be having, because that was not me, for sure.
Well,
it came from your deck. So even if you didn't consciously choose it, you know what I'm saying? Is it random? Like chance?
what card did you draw?
That. Oh. And then I pull out the 2 cards that I drew. One of them is
You're not gonna blow us up again, are you?
No. Once I draw these cards, they're like kind of done until I, take a big nap,
Gotcha.
Sorry,
you know,
that's
it's
really
something
funny.
called a long rest. Yeah.
Not a short rest though. It needs to be a little
Yeah.
longer. It needs like 8 hours.
But so I have a spade of 5s, or 5 spades.
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
think that's what I drew, and then
Speak-
shut up.
I love it. Sorry, I love it. Sorry, keep going. I'm not actually laughing. Sorry.
And then I pull out Robbie. What would
Joker,
you say
right?
the Joker card looks
Oh.
like?
Yeah.
I would say that on the Joker card, you see an individual in a purple suit with horns, purple skin, red eyes, and is holding a mask up to his face that he's kind of half peeking around.
Well,
Ugh, that guy looks pretentious as fuck.
he also looks somewhat scary.
Well,
Is it Molly?
I don't know who the artist was, guys. Credit to the artist, by the way. However, it doesn't matter. It's just a Joker, right? So sometimes when I pull this one, that's when I get the bubbles or the glitter or fairy shit and magic. I don't know, but it's never that. It's not dangerous. It's never been that dangerous. I promise.
So why was it today?
Well, I
Don't
don't.
know.
Yeah, I can't
That's why
imagine
I'm
Kieran would know.
thinking- Yeah, and no, I don't even think it's from me though. That's what I'm trying to say, you guys. Like I fired off a spell, and she probably with her whatever her order was called, she was like, magic, whatever. Like, why would I do that to you guys? Why would I center it on myself and do that? I wouldn't.
Maybe not purposefully.
Yeah, we're not suggesting you consciously attacked us. We're
I'm
not. That
s-
is not what we think happened.
I'm suggesting those cards may be dangerous.
Anyway.
Robbie,
Yes.
would I have encountered someone with wild magic at some point in my stead in Shady Creek Run?
No,
Oh,
probably
shit.
not.
I would have though, right?
Wouldn't Roz know?
Rosalind.
Sorry, out of character.
Yes, the more she talks about it, this seems a lot like what your Uncle Guy used to
Yeah. Okay.
used to have before he cured himself of it.
So, my uncle, one of them, used to have this thing he called wild magic, where he would do something and then an extra spell that he couldn't control would happen sometimes.
Hmm.
This sounds a lot like that. He eventually cured himself of it, but apparently it caused a whole lot of problems before that.
I see.
It's not something he could control, though, so I definitely don't think this is Kieran's fault.
Well,
Just please be careful, Kieran. Understand that this could be coming from your deck, and this could be an effect of it.
Are you saying that I was your uncle?
I don't think
In
that's.
your world?
Rosalind looks so tired. She's like,
No,
yes,
maybe
that-
the deck
yes,
of cards
you
is.
were my uncle.
Even if I don't remember you, I promise you I love you with all my heart. And
Rosalind
I-
hops off the cart and just walks alongside. She is very sore and tired, but not as sore and tired as this conversation is making her.
Kieran, we're not saying you meant to do this. We're just harried, that's all. This is, if what Roz is saying is true and you have wild magic, we just need to know that.
I mean, I'm sorry if it was me, but I'm telling you right now, it wasn't. It couldn't have been. Right?
Kieran, you probably have access to things that you've probably been through things that I will never understand. I think we all need a break. This was not our shining hour, and I think we all could do with a little bit of some reflection.
As you continue on toward Odeslo, you may all take a short rest now that you're actually.
I was gonna say, can we take a short rest, please?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Being on the wagon, you are able to take a short rest, except for Rosalind if she walks the whole way.
Ugh, God damn
You
it.
can sit up near me.
Yeah,
since
she'll
I'm driving
go
the
up and-
horses.
She'll go up and sit with Leo.
All right, so Leaf jumps in the back with everybody else, and you are all able to heal up any HP that you need to with your hit dice. And eventually, you do come upon Odeslo later in the day. It took about the full day's travel in order to get here after your little excursion with the hunter and the wolf. As you come upon the city, definitely much smaller compared to Rexentrim. Population in Rexentrim is in the 6 digits. There is like 7,000 people that live in Odeslo. Mostly humans, a little bit of the other races as well. But as you come up on it, you notice that the city is built along the eastern shore of the Erdelock. The Kidney State City is comprised of 3 major areas. The muddy lakeside region on the western end houses the docks, river-based storage buildings, and scattered housing for denizens of the district. Verdant and clean, the Greenset region on the eastern side of the settlement holds numerous logging camps and most of the residential homestead for working families. And the Crossmark region is the smaller center of the city, where the other regions meet at a juncture of the 2 largest thoroughfares, Cedar Line Street and Hog Marshall Road. The smell of starchy foods and fresh fish suffuses the inn and market stalls of this sleepy little intersection. So as you come up to the entrance into town, you do see a set of Crown's Guard on either side of it, but they don't pay you much mind as you enter into the city. The sun is starting to set as dusk approaches. What would you like to do?
Well,
Well, I think we need to find a place to stay.
yeah. So we'll go look for an inn in town.
A place to park our cart, preferably.
Well, I was just gonna say I'll go to the stables if you guys get me a room.
Yeah, I'll get you a room, Leo.
Not a problem.
Hey, Robbie.
Yep.
Could I invoke my background feature of entertainer and get us lodging for I can't remember if it's like free or half price.
Oh, you can sure try.
So I think you can get yourself lodging for free.
All right, so
Yeah,
go
rules.
ahead and someone go ahead and make an investigation check for me.
I can do investigation.
I want to help.
Oh, you want to help? Okay, sorry. Did you want to do it?
Oh, no. I
Because
mean,
Maeve
help you.
automatically gets advantage on investigation checks.
I'm sorry. It's the night of the race.
Sherlock Holmes over here.
Never
Shut up. Just
mind.
because it's
You
my-
have no idea how much that plays into her fantasy.
Shut up. I always play detective archetypes, and elves are the best for it.
So yes,
All right.
yes, you do find an inn named the Charcoal Vulture. You see a white exterior, a stacked building with some aged graffiti that seems like someone had tried to wash it off, marring the side of the building. Entering inside, the inside is split level. There's reasonable decor and furnishings, featuring numerous sections of job posts and information stations as well. But as you walk in, there is a female dwarf from behind the counter that waves you down and goes, welcome into the Charcoal Vulture. What can I get for you today? And Kieran,
We need. Yeah, go ahead.
if
Sorry.
you would like to try and get a free room for you and your friends. What do you say? Are you muted?
Yeah. Kieran's muted.
Fucking Discord.
Sorry.
There we go.
So I think honestly, Kieran probably still a little upset about the
Mopey.
previous conversation.
Mhm.
So if I need to make a roll, I will impose my own disadvantage.
So Kieran,
Yes.
walking
I
up,
guess.
offers to perform for the night in exchange for free rooms.
Yeah. I could do a show or whatever if you
What kind of show are we
It would
talking
really
about?
And I
'Cause
just
we,
like
we get enough of
lazily-
them fancy spoony bards coming in here wanting to sing and play their lute, so
Oh, I don't sing, though I do sing beautifully. I just like lazily juggle my cards. Like, see, it's like a magic trick. Haha.
make a performance check at disadvantage.
Rosalind gets her coin purse out.
No faith.
I'm just imagining the amazing Jonathan right now.
Okay, I do have a question, DM.
Uh-huh.
Could I use my +5 bonus since I get that with card tricks since I'm using my cards?
Sure.
Sick.
Self-imposes disadvantage. Argues for +5 bonus.
Listen,
I'm just trying to make it fair
can't make
because
this any worse than it can
that's
be.
a +11 bonus, so that's 7. That's 18.
18.
All right.
Okay.
It's a very lackluster
So-
performance, but
The tricks you're doing are pretty good, but like she can tell you're not really into it, so she's like,
Mhm.
all right, just stop. I'll give you half
What?
off your room if you don't do that anymore tonight.
oh, it's a pity roll. I won't say that
Well,
out loud.
That's honestly a better deal than I usually get. So
All right. No, they're good tricks, I promise. They're great. I just, don't think that our clientele is going to be into the kitty stuff. All right. Otherwise, how many rooms? How many rooms total here? What are we looking at?
6, please.
All right. That's going to be 5 gold, 5 silver, she says, looking down at you, Kieran.
Here. I
Rosalind will put her gold on the table.
I will as well.
Me too.
All right. She takes the gold, hands out keys to each of you.
Oh, Rosalind will put down another gold one for Leo too,
Yep.
and just say, my friend Leo is going to come in here. He'll ask for his key.
I could check on something.
569. What an awkward number.
Maeve,
Yes.
as you are handing over your gold, your tattoo pops out of your. Do you wear like gloves or anything like that?
Yeah, on my right hand I have like a glove. The other hand, though, you can see anything on there.
Okay. Which?
Well, I guess if
Is
I don't remember.
Is your
You-
tattoo visible?
You had it on your right hand. Is that the hand that you
Oh,
used to draw
okay. Then
your
I think technically it would be covered by the glove.
long glove, so it's completely covered?
It's like it goes to like here. Technically, but it's also like it's meant just for fabric for luster to be on my arm.
Oh, fair enough. Okay, then yes, she does notice your tattoo and goes, "Oh, interesting. You have a friend that came through here, about a day ago?
Really?
Yeah, the design of the tattoo. We had a patron the other day had something similar there.
What can you tell us about her?
Kept to herself. Wore a hood up cloak the whole time. Had red hair, I think, green eyes.
Tabaxi?
No, it wasn't a tabaxi.
Oh.
No, maybe it's just a coincidence. Just, never seen something like that before. Coloring is interesting. Some nice use of ink there.
Yeah, of course. Is she still here?
No, she left early in the morning.
I see. Thank you. Actually, we're,
She takes a swig of a cup of ale that she has behind the...
yeah, it's good
Counter.
to see others as part of the group. She says very awkwardly.
Ross just glances at her like,
Okay, sure. Well, enjoy your stay. She goes
Thank
back to
you.
serving some of the other patrons.
Does that describe? I will go back. Does that describe the assassin? I thought the assassin was the Tabaxi.
"Oh, are you asking me?"
I'm asking everybody in the group here.
Oh, okay.
Everyone just ignores Maeve. They're like, Maeve,
I know.
we're really
like, okay.
tired, okay? Can we do this tomorrow?
It's been a bad day.
I understand.
Everyone's in a bad mood.
Try.
No, Robbie, does that describe the what I was able to see of the assassin?
It does not.
No. Okay. Yeah. No, it doesn't.
And perhaps there is more to our group, but I don't remember seeing someone who looked like that. in
Does
the-
Maybe they
query?
were
Does that
disguised.
describe your sister?
I think they would have said she looks more like me. Pale blonde hair, darker eyes.
This is red hair.
Yeah, this was red hair. Pallid elves don't usually have red hair. Unless she dyed it, for all I know, but she kind of thinks about that for a second. I mean, I guess technically she could have, but still.
Well, someone else out there has a tattoo similar to ours. I guess that's all we know. It doesn't necessarily mean they're of our group.
Is it where was it on this person?
Oh, that's a good question. Did the lady tell us? Or the bar person tell us?
Go back up and ask, and she mentions it,
Okay.
it was on their left bicep.
Left bicep.
And to clarify, all of ours look similar in design, or they're the same design exactly?
They look similar in design.
Similar. Kind of like similar artist or similar type of design, but not exactly the same.
It's
Which I could have pointed out to everybody.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you see somebody with like a tribal tattoo.
Yeah,
Like no two tribal tattoos are exactly the same.
but you know what
But
they
they're
are.
all
But you
kind of
know
the
it
same.
when you see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you take a mandala and just take out chunks of it. And everybody just has a chunk that looks
Yeah.
And I would have
Well-
told you that. Everyone's is kind of a little different.
So here's the thing: if we're the 4th, 5th, 7th, whatever chosen ones, could it be possible that this person might have the same thingy as one of us?
I don't know. Maybe the Oracle saw that performance in the forest and already picked new people.
Well, we also
I mean,
probably.
it just gets more sad looking.
I think our tattoos would be gone if that were the case, but they are not.
The
fair enough.
bartender, noticing how sad you are, Hermia, goes, buck up, Buttercup. Here. And hands you a mug of ale. This'll cheer you up.
Oh, that's nice. Free ale. Can we all be sad? I'm just kidding.
Do you take it, Hermia?
Yeah, Hermia takes it, just looks at it sadly.
All right, and then she goes, that's 2 silver.
Never mind.
Hermia's more upset.
Do you
Did
pay
she
for
give
it?
you silver?
Yeah, but she's so happy about it.
at Termia.
Iris is just like looks to can I get an order of chicken or something and just take it up to my room, please? I'm very hungry and I just want to sleep.
It's your first time in town?
Yeah.
We have fish.
Believe me, yeah. Okay, sure. Fish. I don't
Alright.
care.
Some fish sticks coming up.
Great.
She hollers in the back. Order fish sticks!
I'm sure this is gonna be awesome.
Well, I will stay down here for Leo, and if anyone wants to join me before
Leo, you show back up. It's easy enough to find a
okay,
stable.
fair
It
enough.
costs you 5
Sure.
silver to keep the horses there in the cart overnight.
Yeah. Sounds good.
What's the name of this
just-
tavern?
The Charcoal
Charcoal.
Vulture.
There you go.
Yeah.
Just feels weird.
You took us to the
Big
Peace of Mind
flower
last night. What
powder.
are you complaining about?
Your fish
What did
sticks
you
are
say?
eventually brought out to you, Rosalind,
Okay.
with a side of ketchup.
He looks at the food
But
like,
he's
great,
know it sucks.
great.
Ketchup.
Awesome.
Come on, man.
She looks to the party. Well, today has been an experience. I am so very sorry. I'm gonna go to sleep now.
Very-
I will see you all in the morning. And everyone, we will do better tomorrow. We got this. I still believe.
Good night,
Exandria
Vance.
trudges like
Thank you.
upstairs too, and then on her way, just kind of like sets down like the mug of ale on some like random person's table.
Maeve is actually gonna stay up a little bit till the moon is in the moon is like over, basically.
Okay.
But she will tell everyone that she is going to be staying up for a little bit. But no one has to be forced to join. This is by her own choice.
I'll stay up with her for a little bit and like read a newspaper and smoke a cigar and shit.
Do old people things.
Yeah.
I don't. Oh, you mean Leo?
Yeah.
He was like 10 times older than me.
Rosalind's gonna go up and not talk to Saris since Saris isn't there anymore, but she's gonna talk at Saris and just be like, "Holy shit, I suck at this."
There's a deafening silence.
Yeah, I'll bet. She just kind of talks about her day and everything that's happening.
All right. Sum up or give us Rosalind's general sort of feeling on the day. Where's she at mentally?
So she talks for a little while. She kind of starts off talking about like, it is really weird fighting without you because like you would have seen that fireball and warned me, and now I just kind of have to like figure everything out on my own, and that's a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. I don't know how people do this normally. You know, I'm here and I'm supposed to like help these people or help this world to help my world, and like I don't know. I trained for that my whole life, and now I'm here and I realize everything I trained for doesn't mean anything. Because I don't know, it's nothing like what I studied or what I was told. She feels very out of her element and very out of her depth. Like she suddenly feels every bit of being 19 years old.
After
So that's
about
kind of where she's at.
15 minutes of kind of talking through everything, hear a voice.
Oh shit.
Do you often prattle on to yourself like this?
No, I usually talk to Saris, but Saris isn't here anymore, so I'm just talking now.
Well, I hear that, apparently.
Oh. I'm sorry. I know you probably have a lot that you're focusing on.
You trained with the wing of the Raven Queen, did you not?
I did. Yeah, my
And
uncle.
your training wasn't for nothing. Don't disrespect his wisdom like that. You'll do fine.
You didn't like have anyone to teach you. You just
You
got
learn hard lessons in the abyss.
right. You just got dropped in. You must have had moments where you thought you couldn't do it, right?
No, it's different.
Is it?
If your sister and I weren't able to do it, we would have died. We would have perished 1,000 deaths. There was no second guessing. It was a luxury we didn't have.
I don't have it anymore either. I don't think.
Evelyn says you will be fine. Just trust your judgment.
She kind of smiles at that. I'm gonna fix this here somehow so that. Are you seeing any effects of this happening in home?
We don't go to the prime material plane, so no. Just the usual abominations. Your uncle and Evelyn are looking into it.
Good. Well, I'm sure they'll handle it then. There. Anyway.
Silent.
She feels better as she lays down to go to sleep.
Maeve, you stay up waiting for the moon.
I do.
I have no idea where it would currently be in this particular.
Yeah, whatever. As long as it's not a
phase.
new moon, I can handle it. But whatever you want it to be.
Out of
It's
curiosity.
an old moon.
Because I know that Matt Mercer has the moon cycle.
Oh,
planned
does he?
out.
I had no
He
idea.
does.
Jesus Christ,
He
the
really
amount of
does.
detail he goes into.
It's not the
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Cycle length is 30 to 40 days. I'm just looking to see
Oh.
if there happens to be a quick
Just guide for it. Yeah.
Guide.
Just a fucking timer,
Somewhere,
like back in
yeah.
FF11.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make this complicated.
No. It's not complicated. I was just
Okay.
curious myself.
It's
So we'll-
Fire's Day.
Yeah, we'll say that. Oh wait, no, hold on. I actually have the regular.
Fuck, the Weavers Guild is closed today.
Oh god. Oh god, the memories.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yep.
It's fine with the Fire's Day. Your chance of breaking is going to be so high.
Oh god. No, why? Oh, the guild is closed today, and they're the only shop in the game that sells the items that I need.
At least it's a waning gibbous.
Oh god, and now the shop's open, but they don't have any in stock because no one sold to this shop. Hey, that game was stupid.
Hey, your trauma showing on that.
Yeah.
It's
But we
fine. Just
all
make sure
want it.
Just make sure you start crafting to the east, and you'll get the skill up.
We'll say that heading out, the moon is about 3/4 full, but you see it there up in the sky.
She
It's-
will
it's a
exit the building once
clear
it's
night.
kind of time. And we'll kind of go to the side of the building. She's not going to try to travel too far. And she'll just kind of sit along one of the walls, basically. Just kind of flump down a little.
Were you hanging out with Leo? Did you let him know where you were going or anything?
I let him. Yeah, sorry, Lee. I will just let you know that I'm just going outside for some fresh air.
It's up to you if you wanted to go with her or not, or if you tell him not to.
I don't tell him not to, but I will be honest with him that I'm praying. So I know he's not into that.
Yeah, I'll just let her do her thing. Like, you know how to contact me if you're in trouble.
Of course. And so she'll kind of. Kieran, are you already in bed? Whoever's downstairs, I would have let you know. Okay, just making sure.
I think it was probably just you and Leo, unless Leaf was also down there.
Yeah.
Leaf would be in its room for about 3 or 4 hours.
We'll come back to you, just so long as you're not out with
Okay.
Maeve.
Yeah, that's all I need to
check
know.
out.
Yeah, so Maeve's just gonna kind of flump against the wall and hug Luster very tightly, because seeing him disappear brought back some not so happy memories. And she's gonna close her eyes and just sort of pray, but it's a little bit more of just a frenzied kind of soft speech to herself.
Luster just kind of curls up in your lap the way that like cats do when they have like their paw over their eyes.
It's very cute. It's very comfortable as I rub his head.
He's still feeling sorry for himself.
Yeah.
BRB, I need to go hug my puppy.
Did I make you think of that? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I probably need to put a content warning for that whenever I talk about Luster. Anyway, but no, Maeve is just gonna kind of talk to herself a little bit and kind of praying into Moonweaver at the same time. Just kind of something like, I know it wasn't the first choice, nor the second, probably not the third. I'm here, and I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that this is what you have left. I'm so sorry. And she's just kind of whispering to that as she kind of hugs Lester closer. You've given so much, and I can't do anything for it. I'm so sorry. And I'm assuming she doesn't hear anything, but she's going to be there for a few minutes before walking back, unless something happens. I wasn't doing any rolls or anything.
Yeah, it's Mama.
Nothing comes back to you as you just kind of sit there underneath the moonlight.
Underneath the moonlight.
But you do hear a male voice. They ever talk back to you?
She jerks up and looks up at who's talking to her.
Sorry, didn't mean to startle you. And you see there's a man just kind of leaning up against the corner of the inn. He's about 15 feet away, cloak up. You can't really make out any distinct features. He kind of puts his hand up, takes a few steps back. Didn't mean to startle you.
Sorry, I just was in deep concentration. No, not usually. It's more of the talking out loud, I think, that helps. There's just a sense that you know there's ears, I suppose. I know I'm not making much sense.
You mind if I ask which one you were beseeching?
Are we still in the,
Empire, you are.
She, looks a little nervous.
I can sense your apprehension. You ain't gotta say nothing. Don't worry. I'm gonna ratch out. You're free to talk to whatever imaginary beings in the sky you'd like. Have a good night.
I'm sorry, Robbie, I'm just trying to look up her actual name, and I forgot it, sorry.
It's like Senhane or something like that. Most people know her as the movie.
Yeah, I know. I was just gonna put her real name, but, Sahanine.
She was always one of my favorite ones. I think as far as the tenets go, fun. As far as the description goes, interesting.
Yeah, you seem to be a learned man. I know, as much as I appreciate her tenets, I know I am probably not, what you expect as a follower, given how I appear.
I don't know anything about you.
Well, there goes both of us. I'm Maeve.
Kaylin.
What brings you out here, Halen?
Kaylin. With a K.
Oh, Kaylin. I'm sorry. I thought it was Halen.
It's fine. A bit of a traveler. Myself. Learned a bit in the arts. More so than anything else. Never much of a religious or studious lad myself, much to the parents' dismay. But I just go from place to place, looking for stories to tell.
You're a storyteller. Well, I suppose traveler would be an apt description for me, but I'm hoping to look for great things to do with the group, but nothing to report yet for your stories.
So are you on your way home, traveling away?
Oh, I'm very far away from home.
Not from by say Tile up north, then?
No. Destination is that, but that's not home for me.
Gonna go out on a little bit of a limb here and guess, from the Pallid Grove down near the Menagerie Coast?
She kind of chuckles at that and kind of floops up her hair. Yeah, what gave you that impression? I noticed the elves are not nearly as pale.
Well, that for one. I've met a few of your kind, though, in my time. I'm from the Menagerie Coast myself.
Oh. I see. So that's where you call home. Yes, I'm
Well,
sure you
maybe once upon a time, but now home is, suppose, wherever the wind takes me.
That sounds romantic almost.
There's some romance in it. Some heartbreak, too.
That
No
makes
permanent
sense.
place to lay down your head. Nowhere to go back to. Always on the
Yes.
run, in a way.
Is there something you're running from, Kalen?
No. Something I'm running towards, though. Great destiny.
Great destiny.
Aren't we all looking to change the world in one way or another?
Absolutely. What sorts of changes are you hoping to wrought?
I suppose to inspire? Change the heart of man?
If you could change the hearts of all men, what would you change it towards?
There's not much sense in changing all of it. The best we can do, at least those in my profession, is to give them a bit of reprieve, or whatever it is that their folly happens to be. Remind them to stay in the moment. Remind them that the heartwarming moments of happiness that they have are fleeting. That in the end, tragedy is all that really stays with us. Sorry, don't mean
Might
to
you
be
sing?
much of a downer.
No, I do understand that. I do. Would you like to share a song?
No, not tonight. I'm off the clock. Got places
That's
to be, things to do. But I do appreciate you giving me a moment of your time. Sorry to interrupt your discussions with your Moonweaver.
It's fine. Well, I'm not sure if I'll see you around, but if I do, I'll maybe catch a performance before I leave.
If you are to be so lucky. Have a good night, Maeve of the Pallid Grove.
And good night to you, Kalen. Sorry. Traveler of the world.
He gives a slight bow and just kind of backs off into the darkness before he turns, walks away.
Maeve gives a bit of a sigh, looks up, realizes it's probably pretty late, and decides to go back to the inn.
Hermia, as you lay down and mumble, "Sorry, I sucked the sword," you just hear a grumbling noise in the back of your head. Kieran, Leaf, or Leo, was there anything you'd like to do before bed? Or throughout the night?
Nope, I'm pretty hurt and just want to go to bed because my bones hurt.
Okay, fair enough. Leaf?
In the middle of the night, Leaf is going to leave its room and go knock on Kieran's door.
Kieran, let's first start with you. Before we get to the knock on the door, you head up to your bedroom. What would you like to do? Do we need to go up into whispers?
Yeah.
Alright, everyone. We'll be back here in just a moment.
Please.
Okay.
You know, I
we
let
can talk to
let
each other.
I let everyone.
Alright, so I assume you want to go pay a visit to Gil.
Yes.
Alright, so up into your room, you lock the door, set the card deck down on the bed, concentrate, and are transported into the enchanted card box. It's set up a bit differently this time, but one you've seen before. It seems to be a study of some sort. There is a large, roaring, crackling fire. Above the mantelpiece, you see a regal, majestic painting of Gil standing atop a slain dragon with a sword pointed up into the air. There's a large, dire bearskin rug in front of it, and sitting in this massive red leather chair with a huge tome in his hands and spectacles on the tip of his nose, you see Gil with a leg crossed up overwards, and as you come in, he closes it with a thump. My poor, poor, poor little kid. Come. He taps, sort of next to him.
In the same chair?
Can't really sit in the same chair, so you just kind of like walk over, like, and sit on like the floor next to him or something.
Okay.
But he looks down
Yeah.
at you sympathetically.
So today was kind of weird.
You had a chance to help out your new friends, show them what you're made of. Take the initiative.
Right.
But you failed.
Yeah.
Well,
But they were saying that it was because of my magic?
oh.
That's not.
Oh, son, it was. It was. You know that your magic, your gifts come from me. I've empowered you in such a way to be stronger than you would ever be able to dream of on your own. But, my power is immense, and obviously, I help you to some extent keep it in check as you grow accustomed to it, become stronger. And sometimes I don't know, I thought maybe you could handle the full extent of the power. I, took the trainers off, so to speak, and, guess you couldn't hold it in. Power was just too much for you, and you hurt people. That's my fault, though. I thought that you were ready for it, and you're not. It's nothing to be ashamed of, though. That's why I'm here, right? To catch you when you
Yeah.
fall.
But I didn't. I mean, I did, but I never wanted to hurt anyone. I didn't.
I know. And I'm sure they know that as well.
I don't.
It was an
I don't know,
accident.
everyone's mad at me.
Do you really think so?
I mean, I don't know. I was trying to crack a joke, and usually,
I mean,
they chuckle and they get annoyed, but like this time they seem like actually mad.
none of them died, right?
I mean, I don't know.
No. They'll get over it. I promise. Give them a night or two. They'll forget the whole thing has happened. I'm sure the girl with the sword, she'll screw up in some way and draw the heat off of you.
So am I going to do that every time now?
No. Like I said, I just thought that you had it this time, so I took my hand off for just a moment to see how you'd handle yourself without me. And, we won't do that again, will we?
Yeah, right. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
No, like I said, it's my fault. I thought you could handle yourself, but you need a bit more time, and perhaps traveling with these people will allow you to grow a bit stronger, but I will make sure to keep my eyes on you a bit more going forward.
Yeah. Is. I don't think I've ever really asked. You're so powerful, and does your power hurt people?
It can. All power can be used to hurt or to help. It just depends on how you make use of it.
Yeah.
And we've always used it to
Yeah.
help ourselves. Sometimes you have to hurt people who get in the way, but they normally deserve it.
Okay.
What do you plan on doing once you get to, I say, Tile? Aren't you looking into an assassination plot of some sort?
Yeah.
Going to stop it, or are you going to maybe help it happen?
I don't know. It seems like... I mean, when I watch them, they seem like they want to do the right thing, and then there's some hypocrisy in a few of them. Especially Leo. I don't know what they'll choose.
Well, everyone has
But-
their secrets.
Yeah.
Maybe see what you can find out about them. What's in their past, you know? Obviously, you want to be friends with them. They seem like a friendly sort, but you never know what happens when someone's put under pressure, the choices they may make, and so having a little bit of dirt on them, just in case, can help protect us.
Well, I think I've been doing a pretty good job just, playing the part.
Oh, yes, no, you have. Absolutely. Just continue, maybe dig a little bit deeper, see what else you can find out. You know how I like gossip.
Yeah. But we're not going to hurt them, are we?
Your new friends? No, of course not. No, after all, they're helping us so far, helping you get stronger, right? If it wasn't for them, you never would have met Mr. Black, who's going to give you the dragon's claw that I need. No, only if they get in our way, only if they prove not to be good people. After all, they could be putting on an act just as you are.
Yeah.
But I do like the robot, though. Leaf. I like him. He's a good apple.
Kieran actually smiles.
Ah, he's a good boy. Alright, now, off with you. I need to finish my stories for the night.
Yeah, I can't imagine with kids these
Hermia?
days.
Or not Hermia, sorry, Kieran. As you finish up, you suddenly hear a knock on your door. Leaf, this is you.
Hello?
Hello.
I open
Hello?
You hear from across the hall.
Greetings, friend Kieran.
Hey. What's up, bud?
Will we be engaging in deception tonight?
Actually, you just read my mind. And then I say in my head, literally. Yeah, what kind?
Yes,
what
I
are you thinking
did.
today? What are you thinking? I'll let you take the lead, big boy.
Processing. Analyzing targets. No targets found. We should go downstairs to see what deception can be engaged with.
Sure, let's do that. I'm feeling much better.
For the record, this one did not think you exploded the party on purpose.
Well, do you know what I found out, Leaf? I did a bit of soul searching, and I think I'm just super powerful. Like, there's this latent power that's within me that I just had no idea that I had. So I think I kinda did I don't know. Must be my rise to greatness.
Irregardlessly of the circumstances, it is illogical for one person to explode themselves with a fireball spell. Only an idiot would do that on purpose.
Why don't we go downstairs now? Yeah. Just hurry him down the stairs.
Okay. What's downstairs, Robbie?
Downstairs, it was about 4 hours after you've gone to sleep. Maeve would probably just be coming in at this time. So Leo, if you were still up, Leo's still probably down there drinking. But other than that, it's kind of cleared out down here. The dwarven lady at the bar is still behind the bar, but she's kind of like leaning back against the wall and snoring very loudly.
It appears there are not many targets in this vicinity. Shall we go outside and acquire legal substances?
Do I hear this?
Yeah, I'd say you come in just in time to hear acquire illegal substances.
Leaf.
Even Kieran is like,
Leaf. Guys, let's rest up for the night. No illegal substances, please.
legal. He said legal substances.
What
Right?
are legal?
Incorrect. This one said illegal.
No, remember ingredient reception. Right?
Guys, please.
Deception. This one said legal.
I just kind of look at the both of you, kind of like a mother looking at her children who keep saying this exact same shit. Leaf, Kieran, why don't we just rest up for the night?
Goddess. Oh, and I look around. I'm like, isn't your goddess, by the moonlight? Aren't you, just naturally a nocturnal animal?
Are you trying to invite me to go get illegal substances with you?
I'm just saying, MW, she's a partier, so
I'm aware, and I'm just maybe making a suggestion as we are all tired. But
I think, and I nudge Leaf, I think it's time to get down to some worshiping, Some.
first of all, the moon-
Deception. This one will go worship the Moonwaver outside.
she just kind of nudged. The Moonweaver's not about substances. She's about romantic trysts, which that's not happening with any of us right now. So,
I think that's wrong. I think you were taught wrong. Because I'm pretty sure she's just, she's just the life of the party.
she kind of looks at you with a deadpan. The Moonweaver saved my people.
And she saved my people too.
You know what? Have fun. I'm not gonna stop you. I can't really stop anything. Just please be safe. Please be accounted for tomorrow. Have a good night. And with that, she just kind of tiredly goes back upstairs, hugging.
Before you leave,
Yeah.
Leaf says, "This one has heard the phrase, 'The night time is the right time.'"
Fine. Just please. You know what? Whatever. We'll see. We'll count heads, and if I don't see you two tomorrow morning, I know what's happening. And she just goes upstairs and hugs Luster so close that Luster probably makes a squeak, strangled squeak out.
Takes 1 HP of damage.
Yeah, he just
No!
looks again.
All right, so
You
Kieran
said
Leaf.
Leo's down here?
Yeah, Leo's probably still down here. It's up
Yeah,
to
I'm
him-
reading
up
my
to him.
paper. It's above my face. I'm still listening.
Yeah, it's up to him if he's awake down here or not. But
Can I tell if Leo's listening? Or is he trying to play it off?
Leo, what are you
I'm
currently
just-
doing right now?
Reading my paper. Like Dad, basically. If I have to put it down.
Like a newspaper?
Yeah.
Do they have those anymore?
Yeah, there's paper publications. The Odesilo Lodestone is what it says on the.
Loads.
Yep. Yeah, he's
Load.
just over there. You see him reading a paper with a few mugs of ale by him.
Query, Kieran, are you able to have better luck than this one in procuring illegal substances? This one was unable to procure illegal substances before we left Rexendrum.
You're talking to me?
Talking to Kieran.
You'd probably.
I mean, you could hear, though.
this, though. Yeah.
So, here's the thing. I love your energy. Absolutely. I'm down for it. Into the night. Off we go. Adventure. Whatever it may be. But, why? Is this for, like, research?
This is for you. You enjoy doing things that are illegal.
Oh. I mean, yeah. But, not much of a, I mean, I'm totally on the edge, But, that kind of stuff,
Are you, as they say, not hip to be the square?
I'm totally hip to the square. Yeah. No, I totally am. Yeah. No, I was testing you. I just wanted to see if you were, on the line. So we'll go into town and we'll find those drugs.
Query, are you confident in your ability to be down with the hip square?
Yes.
Understood. Lead the way.
And before they get to the door, I lower my paper and look at them like, really? You're really gonna fucking do this right now?
And I just squint my eyes at him like, yeah, old man.
Surprised! This one did not see you there. Mr. Leo, do you want to join us?
No.
No.
Hip to
And
the
it's
square.
past your bedtime.
Oh, I'm sorry, Gramps. Did you want me to put you down to bed?
No, but do you want me to tuck you in, little one? Read you a nice little camp story so you can sleep tonight?
I go have fun. Bye. And I just run out.
He
I
stands
yell
there
back,
for a second before following. All right, so heading outside, the streets are, as far as you can see right now, empty. They are completely cleared out. This is definitely like a small town in comparison. So you're gonna try to look for someone to buy drugs off of. All right.
And I'm the only one that knows thieves can't, so...
One of you make a straight roll because it's going to be a disadvantage, but since you're helping each other, it's a straight roll. Investigation.
Oh, too bad.
Lead the way, Kieran.
Damn it. Okay.
12. Okay. So you kind of walk the streets for a little while underneath the glow of the moon. And as you just kind of start to make your way around, you're still near the entrance of the city and sort of like the main circle here, but you eventually slowly start to find your way. Of course, now I don't have the page up that I needed.
The illegal drugs page?
Yeah, the illegal drugs page.
Magic heroin.
Oh, man.
Making your way over towards the lakeside area, closer to the air to lock. And For the most part, it's pretty dead here. Even some of the inns, they'll have like a few candlelights going. You can tell that they're still open for like travelers that might come in a little bit later at night. All the shops have been closed up though. There's a few lights on in some of the houses that you pass, and after about an hour, as you're getting ready to give up, you hear some laughing. Sounds like teens, maybe, younger adults, and you kind of see off in the distance a group of 4 or 5 people that seem to be darting from one side of the road off the other.
Leaf is going to slap Kieran in the stomach and point over to the kids. Those ones would definitely have illegal substances.
How many are there, Robbie?
4 or 5.
Okay. Can I, is there any way I can, assess the situation, having, worked on the streets, is this, an ambush, or are they just, haha, these losers?
From the brief glimpse that you got of them, no. This was about 30, 40 yards away. You're not even sure if they noticed or saw you.
Okay. Right. Yes. Drugs. Bad things. And then he's like, okay. So, we're gonna go in. I'm gonna do my talking, and you're just gonna be real quiet and silent and cool, like you're my bodyguard or something, Yeah? Yeah. Got it. Perfect. And then I'm going to use my thingy to turn into... I'm gonna turn into a goth teen girl. That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. And then you're gonna head off towards them and follow them?
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Yep.
Make either one of you can make either a perception or a survival check to try to catch up with them and track them through the city.
By the way, I love the profiling of oh, these kids are out after dark. They must be selling drugs.
Obviously.
You said one of us roll, Robbie?
Yep, either one of you. Survival or perception, your choice.
I got 0 modifier.
Oh, I'll do it.
Yeah.
10?
Nice.
Okay, it takes you a minute to eventually catch
That
up with
was a
them.
2.
But you do eventually come up upon them, and it seems that they seem to be heading out towards the lake, towards the dock district. So you're lagging behind them for quite a bit, but eventually you do get within their eyesight. But they still haven't noticed you yet, so it's up to you if you just keep walking towards them or if you try to get their attention.
Okay. And then I just give Leaf a look, and I nod. And then I shout out to them hey!
All of them kind of stop. You notice 2 of them kind of duck down behind a barrel, or one of them behind a tree, as the other 3 just kind of freeze for a second. You hear whispers back and forth. One's like, shut up. Turns around. Hey!
What? How do they look? Do they seem are these street rats?
Make a perception check. You're still kind of far away and it's dark out. You have dark vision.
That's a natural 20.
Natural 20. Okay. So as you kind of start to get a little bit closer, they all look to be teens, some anywhere between maybe 15 to 19. The one who's kind of out in front is a half-elf girl. She has long black hair, pointed ears. She seems wearing pretty nice clothing. Boots are a little muddy and worn down, but the rest of her seems to be she comes from maybe not wealth, but definitely more well off. There is another girl off to the right and the left side of them. One is a human girl, the other is a tiefling, lighter red skin, horns that kind of go up almost into like sort of like a crown shape above her head. They're both definitely wearing more lower class sort of clothes. And you can see peeking around from the tree in the barrel, younger out of the group of them is two boys, both of them human. Hard to make out a lot of their details from here.
Leaf is just going to be a few feet behind Kieran with its arms folded and just standing motionless.
What do you want?
Kieran's gonna like twirl his hair. I'm like, I'm just looking for some fun.
Is that an automaton?
Maybe.
You watch, she kind of like whispers something to the two girls with her. They both have their arms crossed. You like rich or something?
No, I'm just super cool. What are you?
Make a deception check.
You're not from around here, are you?
No, I'm new in town, so kind of why I'm out right now. And I was hoping that, this, run downtown would be a little more exciting, but apparently not.
Alright, well that sucks for you, bye! And they turn and start to walk off. You watch the two boys come up from behind their hiding spots and walking with them. You do notice now that each of them are carrying like a small like satchel of some sort.
And then I think to Leaf, well, it usually works whenever I do the mean girl thing, like, they just want to hang out with me more, but that, like, did the exact opposite.
Leaf puts a finger up to its temple and says, "This is going well. This one has faith in you."
Should I keep going or should I change tactics?
Yes.
And then so what are you guys doing?
They stop again and the lead girl turns around. We're going to make an offering to the lake spirit.
The lake spirit?
You're new in town. What's your name?
Regina.
Did your robot have a name?
Yeah, his name is George.
This one is curious.
She whispers something, or one of the other girls whispers something to her, and they kind of laugh a little bit. Sure, Regina, George, come on. If you're new in town, you might as well learn this sooner or later. So as you get caught up to him, she goes, my name's Cora. This is Coella, she points to the tiefling, and this is Isabella, to the human, and that's Jake and Colton. They all just kind of wave, like, hi. Colton's like,
Hi.
can I touch George?
Only if George wants to be touched.
Hi, George. And he holds his hand out.
Greetings. This is Colton or Jake?
Colton.
Greetings, Colton.
Cool. So as you start walking towards the docks, Cora explains to you. So do you not know anything about spirits?
I mean, no, not really. That's why I'm tagging along so I can learn.
Right, but where'd you come from?
Work syndrome.
Oh, okay, no, I guess that kind of explains it. Well, just like the gods look after everything, spirits do that too. And so, it's always been a custom here to make offerings to the spirits of the Erdelach so that, we have a good bounty of fish and stuff like that. But lately the Starossa and the Empire and stuff don't want us doing that because it's barbaric or whatever. So we have to sneak out at night to do it because the guards will stop you if if they see you doing it otherwise.
Okay. And then I look to Leaf and I'm like, I think we found, like, the town youth group. I think we might have picked them wrong.
No, this is good. They are doing illegal activities. We should continue.
Technically, but I don't want to learn about God and shit.
That's
It's-
the words to do stuff with the Moonweaver.
This is illegal gods. This is illegal gods will always lead to drugs.
What are you two doing?
Nothing. Mind your business.
We are not talking telepathically to each other.
Yeah, definitely not.
They kind of whisper to each other a little bit, and a few of them laugh. Jake goes, "Are you though?"
Maybe.
So you continue on with them down to the edge of the dock, and they all kind of sit down at the edge, and they take their feet off and take their boots and stuff off and hang their feet down into the water. Obviously, coming from the Menagerie Coast, Kieran, it's a huge lake, huge body of water, but seeing the actual ocean, it's not much, but it's still a beautiful sight, especially with the moon out reflecting off of it. It's definitely the biggest body of water that you've recently seen, Leaf, that you can recall. And you watch as each of them set down their satchels and start to take some stuff out of it. And Jake looks up to you, Leaf and Kieran, and goes, "Do you have something to offer? I can share mine with you if you want."
Leaf is going to, for the first time, unfold its arms, and from inside the cloak, it's going to produce a platinum hairpin. This is the offering.
Things like that are good. Lake Spirit, obviously anything that kind of like represents it is good, but also like, they're tied to like Fey folk and stuff like that, so they like shiny things as well. And you see that he has like a few copper, and what looks to be a few little like wood carvings of some sort, and all the other ones seem to have sort of various things like that as they all kind of start throwing them into the lake one at a time.
So I say to Leaf, why don't you just throw some copper? That's really expensive. I don't think you want to do that.
If you want the illegal gods to give you illegal substances, one must produce great offerings. This one read that in a book once. Deceptive.
You know, Leaf, I've been on the streets for most of my life. And I trust you more than anything. I got you. And then I'll toss 10 gold.
Okay. Leaf, I want you to make a religion or a nature check for me.
Goodness me, I'm not good at either of those. Nature. Ha!
Yeah.
Damn it!
I'm actually going to give you advantage for that, for the 20.
Oh, thank God.
So you throw your platinum hairpin into the water. Kieran throws 10 gold as well, and a quiet kind of comes over the group as it seems like all of them have their hands together, their eyes closed. Kieran, you're kind of a little restless and uneasy watching all of this, and as you look up to Leaf, the green that you normally see in his face has gone dark. Leaf, you see before you a wreath of golden wheat with verdant green sprigs and leaves coming off of it, and a oaken crook, like a small sort of half staff, placed against it. And you hear a voice that you feel like you should recognize. That says, "Well, my darling little Leaf, what do you feel when you see this? What sort of emotions does it invoke within you?
Is everyone seeing this or just me?
Just you. Everything just went black, and you just see this.
Okay.
It's just this one image, and you hear this voice in the back of your head. And then suddenly you're looking back out at the lake again. Kieran's looking up at you a little confused as you see all the green in his face suddenly lights back up again.
Leaf, hey. Hey, buddy.
Hello. Greetings.
Are you okay? You kind of shut down there for a second.
Affirmative. This one was downloading a JPEG of someone that I should know, but don't know, but might know?
A JPEG.
This one is confused.
Me too.
Hey! Hey, who's down there? You hear from further up on the dock get yelled, and all the kids like, oh shit, it's the guards.
Cheese it.
Two of them, the boys, jump down into the water, like under the dock. It's only up to about like their waist as they start to like wade up the dock and like towards the shore. And the girl's like, shit. Regina, have George distract him.
And I look to to George. I look to Leaf. Distract?
Processing. This one has no data.
Okay, so
Okay, let's just run. I say that in my normal accent, but I'm still like looking like Regina.
Sure. So where are you
Engaging
running?
in retreat protocol.
Where are you running to? It is a bit of a larger dock, but you will probably have to pass by the guards as you run towards them.
Oh, we're down on the dock and they're
Yeah,
coming.
Yeah, you were down at the end. You were down at the end of the dock. It's kind of like the Santa Monica Pier, so it's pretty big. As you say run, the girls do so. Two of them break off in one direction, the other two sort of on the other side, and the guards kind of get down like shit, what's happening? Like they're not sure who to go after. Are you staying down at the end or are you running as well?
Kieran, are you able to swim?
I don't know. I've never tried.
Leaf is going to push Kieran into the water and use Wild Shape to turn into a very creepy looking dolphin with the face of Leaf and is going to start swimming away.
Okay. Kieran. Make a wisdom check.
Make a
What?
check. I don't know what,
Make
but
a
just
check.
make a check.
Roll a d20.
I'm
Goodness
going
sake.
to use one of my last two inspirations just on this.
Okay.
Oh, thank God I did. That's a 14.
Okay, so you land in the water and plunge down into it, completely submerged for a moment, and you start to flail because you've never been in water before. How do you swim? Can you swim? Where's Leaf at? And as you go to like just try to get your face back up from the water, your feet touch solid ground, and as you stand up, it's only about to your waist, and you see a dolphin with the face of Leaf swimming away, much faster than you.
Oh, I was planning on letting
Okay.
Kieran
He
grab
then
onto
looks
me to
back,
swim.
notices you're there, doubles back, you grab a hold of him, and the two of you swim off, having
There
no
we
idea what's happened to your group of friends. You swim maybe 5 minutes sort of down the shoreline, almost about to where it seems like the docks are sort of starting to end, and the shoreline is looking less like the sort of beachfront in the buildings in the settlement. It's kind of like starting to get away a little bit. So you're a little bit more into the wilds, just off of the outskirts of the town. But you're able to safely get back up on land.
was horrible. I hate swimming.
Leaf becomes Leaf 4 months again and says, "That was amazing."
We didn't even get drugs. We just got lectured. We went to Bible study.
It was better than illegal substances. We were able to commune with an illegal god.
Oh yeah, you saw something, didn't you? Or I don't know, you said something about a JPEG? I'm tired.
This was a wonderful night. Shall we retire?
Yeah. You know, I'll never say this to Maeve or Leo, but I think they were right.
So you easily find your way back to the inn, get a good night's rest. Is there anything anybody else wanted to do during the night?
I'll do my 4 hours,
Yep.
and then I'll...
In that case, you all wake up the next morning. Seemingly no one had a dream.
Oh.
What? Damn.
Wait, what?
Someone
So-
else got a dream, maybe.
You
Not
all,
us.
You all come down the next day. The morning is yours.
Alright. Well, Maeve will come down and she'll order some food and just find a table.
Roz seems like she's in a much better mood in the morning than when she went up. Good morning.
Morning. Did you sleep well?
Yeah, actually, yeah, I slept pretty well.
Good.
Better than I have recently.
Good. I'm glad.
Kieran has like smudged makeup, black eyeliner, forgot to take off mascara, the whole shebang.
Rosalind looks over. Kieran,
Yeah, what's up?
I wanted to say I'm sorry. Yesterday morning, I yelled at you about Mira. I'm sorry. I was taking out some shit on you.
Oh. No, you're... I'm sorry too. I know sometimes my jokes go a little too far. So, I'm sorry. And I guess, yesterday was kind of my fault.
Yesterday was a real bad day for all of us, myself included. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out.
Looks like you had a worse night, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you all right?
Are you and Leaf all right? Is Leaf alive?
Did you find any good drugs?
Just kind of roll my eyes.
Oh, totally. I am like sky high right now. Yeah.
Yeah, you.
This one
Yeah.
is high on life.
Yeah, you both certainly look at. She kind of just looks at you and just shakes her head.
All right. I say
Hermia's not here yet.
once Hermia comes down, we get some breakfast, we get our cart, we get the hell out of here. This town sucks. It's boring.
I met an interesting man yesterday.
Yeah?
Seems to be a bard, Kalen.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Leo.
Kieran like
What?
perks up. Did you take my advice?
This was during my prayers yesterday.
Did you make MW proud?
What? No, he came by and we chatted a moment.
Oh yeah, I bet you did, chat.
I'm just
Nothing-
getting wide-eyed. It's like, what are you talking about?
Nothing happened. We just
Hey, you're the one who said romantic trysts, right?
Rosalind raises her eyebrows. What?
the Moon Weaver is a goddess of many things, and one of them happens to be romantic trysts. But I'm afraid I am not very good at those kinds of things.
Hmm.
In any case, I just talked about an interesting man that I met. Seemed to be a bard of some sorts, but you were mentioning the town was boring. I was just simply saying that there was something nice yesterday.
Rosalind suddenly gets a. Oh, go ahead.
Who spoke?
Hmm.
Oh, okay.
Rosalind gets a kind of like she just remembered something that she doesn't want to do. She's like, "Oh, all right.
What is it?
No, it's nothing.
What
She
is it?
gets to her feet. I gotta go do something. I promised my dad I would. I'll be right back.
Wait, where are you going?
I'm just going outside. I'll be right back. And she's gonna go outside. Hoping no one follows, but she doesn't really care if anyone does.
Does anybody follow?
I guess I just want to see where she goes. I'm very confused.
She probably goes pretty much to where you went to pray to the moon weaver, just kind of around and out of the way where no one can like see her.
Okay.
She is going to set up a small shrine to Timora and say a prayer.
What does this
Okay.
shrine look like?
I guess I'd have to rely on you to know like what Timora's symbol looks like, but she would create kind of like grab some her sword, like put her sword into the ground and her shield up in front of it and just, make a simple shrine.
Okay. Easy enough to do.
Yep. And she's just gonna say a simple prayer to Timora, like she does once a week, every week, to make her dad happy.
So
Once Maeve sees this, she just kind of backs off and goes, okay, then prayer stuff.
Okay, paladin things, got it.
And goes back in.
Hermia, are you down yet?
Hermia charges down eventually. Her appearance looks slightly off. Her hair color and her eye color are just kind of like dimmer. They're not as vibrant and bright as they were yesterday. And she looks visibly tired.
Hermia, are you alright?
I'm fine. Just everything's stuck.
Oh, you poor thing. You look like you could use a pot of coffee. Give me a sec here.
No!
And
I'm
the
not
list-
falling for that again!
Oh, fine. I was just trying to be nice. And puts the coffee back.
Yeah.
okay. Let's. Okay. Deep breaths, Maeve. Well, we'll wait till Rosalind is finished with that. Was there anything anyone else wanted to do while we are here? Are there? I suppose I would like to check if there are any shops for more potions here. Or can I buy like potion supplies?
You would have known from your travels from the Pallid Grove through the Nodric Coast up through the Empire that smaller towns like this don't usually have magic shops, unfortunately.
Okay. I just figured it is.
Yep.
Makes
Usually
sense, though.
your bigger places like Rexentrim, Sadash, Nicodranus, Port Damali.
Okay.
What about a magic fishing pole place?
Why?
I don't know, I'm just
Roll
being-
an investigation check at disadvantage.
Oh god,
Don't ask
I'm gonna
me
be in
now.
another campaign with a
I'm-
fishing minigame.
I'm going to use inspiration to make it a flat roll.
My God.
Oh my goodness.
I was waiting for him to beg me to help.
He's gonna do more grandpa things. Fishing, reading the newspaper, sleeping in front of the TV.
Old man.
Kieran?
14 plus 1, 15.
No, you do not find a magic fishing pole shop.
Damn.
Okay.
But if you
Kieran,
rolled a
leave-
natural 20, I would have had a guy tell you found one.
May that be a
So that's
lesson about illegal drugs. So, I'm glad to see the two of you are safe, at least, regardless of your adventures last night.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there was so much thrill and danger and excitement and romance. It was a great night. I should have came out.
Deception. We were chased by the mafia and across town,
Yeah.
but we were able to circumvent them and acquire loads of illegal substances.
Oh yeah.
Right. Kieran's words that May should have come along, she gets almost a little embarrassed by that. I don't know if I would have added much other than to tell you to turn back. but I appreciate the sentiment.
One day, you'll see.
Right.
After Rosalind finishes up her prayer, she flips the shield upside down and does a prayer and an offering to Bashaba as well, because she finds, and this might just be confirmation bias, but she finds that if she only does a prayer to one, she tends to have bad luck for that day. So she offers a prayer to Bashaba as well, and then grabs her shield and sword and goes back inside. She leaves a gold behind, or 2 gold behind, 1 for each of them, Robbie.
Okay. As you're walking back out, you see an older gentleman off to the side on one of the other shops who's kind of smoking a pipe and goes, "Well, that was a bit of a weird thing you did there."
Huh? What? Pray?
Well, I mean, not the praying part, but I've never seen that one before. Who are you praying to?
Oh, my father was a paladin of Timora, and my sister is big on Bashaba, so I kind of pray to both of them to make them both happy.
Who?
Oh, right. The Lady of Fortune and her twin sister, the Lady of Misfortune, Timora Bashaba.
Where are you from?
Where am I from? I'm from a place called Vano. It is a long ways from here.
You probably save yourself half the time and just say a prayer to the Changebringer.
To the who?
Avandra, the Changebringer.
Wait, you have a...
He motions you over. Motions you over.
Yeah, I can't go about.
She's not really approved in these parts because of the Empire, but Avandra, the Changebringer.
Wait, the Empire approves which gods you're allowed to pray to?
Explain that.
Not to Rosalind.
Okay.
I mean, out here
That's
it's
how
not
you did.
too bad. There's not much of a Crown's Guard presence, but you get into any of the major cities, you definitely want to keep it on the
Okay.
down low. But some of the gods are approved. Some of them are too mischievous or something for them.
Okay. So the Changebringer, you say?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel stupid asking, so I want you to know that beforehand. She involves great change, I presume?
Yeah, province of change, freedom, luck.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah, also known as she who makes the path. She champions freedom, travel, trade, adventure across the lands.
Where do I worship her?
Well, not in the...
Not here.
Not in Rexentrum, right? Not in front of the Crown's Guard. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah. Is there other temples to her anywhere?
Again, not so much here in the Empire. Some folks have private ones. I've never been one for her myself, but growing up, my pops, both her and the Archheart, two that he followed quite a bit. So you don't necessarily have to go to some place, as you obviously have your ways of doing it. So
If I gave you 10 gold, could you show me how to do a proper prayer to the Changebringer?
Sure.
Sweet. She happily hands over 10 gold.
Okay. So he actually takes you into the shop behind him, which is his shop. It's like a tool shop of some sort, fishing equipment and stuff like that. And you come in, he actually locks the door, and he's like, now again, in the Empire, Avandra's technically an outlawed god, so just be careful who you do this around and stuff like that. And
right.
He shows you a pretty simple sort of prayer and ritual, and kind of tells you a little bit more about her. Commandments of the Changebringer. Luck favors the bold. That your fate is your own to grasp, and to do so is to have the Changebringer behind you. But also that change is inevitable, and the righteous can ensure that such change is for the better. She also is all about rising up against tyranny, fighting for the freedom of yourself and others when you can, and to inspire others to fight when you cannot.
Yo, this goddess is great. Like Rosalind is captivated. Rosalind has been very bored by any kind of religious talk for her entire life until this moment.
Seeing that you are sort of more into it, he offers you a little bit more information if you want to learn some more.
She nods eagerly, and you can almost see the stars in her eyes.
Yep, so he mentions that, she's often depicted as a young woman of dark complexion with long, light brown hair that cascades to form the road left behind her. Most art shows her in constant motion, ever leading into the unknown, and he actually has a small sort of wooden carving that he gifts to you as well. Her domains, many of the Changebringers' clerics are granted powers of the moon, nature, and trickery. And she does have a holy day that, again, isn't celebrated in the Empire, but it's called New Dawn. It takes place on the first day, it takes place on the first day of the first month, when the old year gives way to the new. And in Amman, he explains, which is a city in Teldori, a continent over, the Day of New Dawn is celebrated with a grand midnight feast that commonly features a short play celebrating the changes of the past year. And you can tell he's kind of talking a little bit about that longingly, like it was something that he's always wanted to be able to sort of see and celebrate on that grand scale. But yeah, you spend probably 20-30 minutes with him before eventually there's a knock on his door and there's a customer, so he opens it up and bids you farewell.
Well, thank you so much. Does he go over what her symbol is?
Open door.
An open door. So it's actually the emblem that he gives you it looks like a carving of what at least someone envisioned Avandra to look like. So there's obviously not much color to it, but you see the profile of a beautiful woman with gold and coins and leaves just kind of weaved into her hair.
Rosalind looks at the symbol and looks to her shield, and a big grin breaks out on her face as she's gonna go find someone to see if she can get that etched into her shield.
Okay. So, do you go and tell people where you're going first?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll let the party know that I like, hey, I just got to go get something etched into my shield real quick.
So after about 20 to 30 minutes, Maeve, and maybe you went back on, kind of looked around a little bit, but you didn't see her. But eventually, she does come back in, looking pretty excited.
Fine.
So sorry. I just had a really cool conversation, and I need to go find someone who can do an etching in my shield.
Very well.
Well, that's random.
Yeah, sorry. It was really random, but it was really cool. I had a guy was watching me do my prayers, and he told me about a god that you all have in this world, and I'm kind of with it. I think she's awesome.
Okay, let's be a little careful about speaking of
Right.
things,
He said I shouldn't tell anyone.
Yeah,
maybe you shouldn't have it etched in your shield then if he told you not to tell anybody.
I'll talk my way out of it. Don't worry.
Yeah, look at that too. Something small and elegant. No.
Or I could have it in my shield, and then whenever someone tries to call me on it, I can engage in deception. And she kind of like gives Kieran and Leaf a look.
Please be careful. It's religion's dangerous around here.
I'm just saying, you might not be able to get, certain job opportunities, and sometimes it just gives people a certain kind of impression about you, right?
Are you telling a paladin to stop being so openly religious?
I don't know, man. Life is terrible, alright? If you want to get thrown in jail, that's your call.
She looks to Hermia, and noticing the kind of like depressed features about her and having had a Eladrin mother, she kind of frowns. Hermia, why don't we go for a walk? Why don't you come with me?
Hermia sighs and just gets up. Like, fine.
Rosalind nods. I'll be back. Trust me, I'll be fine.
Very well.
Please be back soon, because I don't want to pay for another night at the stables for the horses.
It's not going to take long to get a simple etching done. I'm just going to get a silhouette done.
Very well.
And she'll walk out with Hermia as they look for a smith.
Okay, yeah. It takes you probably 30-40 minutes to find someone who's willing to do it on such short notice and kind of do a bit of a rush job for you. They do charge you 10 gold.
Yep, she doesn't want it to be like literally like a point for point like recreation of the symbol, more like just a silhouette of it. That could be like, if you looked at it, you'd be like, that's a cool design. Or if you knew who it was, you'd be like, oh, you're a believer. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So did you want to have a discussion with Hermia as you're looking, or while you're waiting for the etching to be done?
Yeah, well, I'll wait for the etching to be done. She'll kind of glance over at Hermia. So yesterday was tough, huh?
Yep.
Is that your first time, like, almost dying?
I mean, almost dying, I guess, but when it comes to just overall stucking, no.
Know that feeling.
You hear in the back of your head, Hermia, I've never been more embarrassed.
Hermia, like,
Jesus.
goes back, you sound just like my dad, so just shut up today.
Wow.
Rosalind gets kind of a look on her face of like,
Where's your, are we
do you have a quarry spirit?
Where's your? Are we gonna unpack that drop?
It's my sword. He is disappointed in me, as is my family and my ancestors and their ancestors and just everybody.
I don't know that I believe that your ancestors are particularly disappointed with you. The Eladrin are at least in my world, a somewhat short-memoried folk.
Oh no, where I'm from, they remember everything, and they never
Really?
let me forget it.
I see.
They wanted me to become a doctor.
Well, Hermia, I'm. You might be older than me for all I know, but I've been through some. That moment that we had yesterday was not my first time really fucking up. When about a year ago, I walked my group right into an orc ambush. Like the signs were all there, and I really should have known. But I was stupid and confident, and I was like, "Oh, we can handle anything." And the ambush came, and Mira almost died. Our cleric in our group had his father's diamond ring, and if he hadn't had it to revivify with, that just would have been it for Mira, and that was my fault. And after that day, I got a lot better at leading that group because I had seen everything go wrong, and I kind of learned that as long as you live to see another dawn,
I fell off the
you can
fucking
learn
map,
and be
dude.
better. And
Inspo for
that
Maeve
helped a
and
lot.
Lester.
But trust me when I say that you'll be better today for what happened yesterday.
Maybe. I don't know.
It takes time. I'm gonna have to hear more about your home where Eladrin actually remember things. My mom was somewhat flaky.
Where I'm from, like, you said that your mom had different seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone in where I'm from takes pride in their stability and control.
Oh, they don't
They
change
don't
with the
change
seasons.
a whole lot.
Do you like that?
I'm impartial to it.
Fair enough. My mom always took a lot of pride in her changing forms and looking different as the years went on.
Yeah, I guess must seem strange then to like have a whole city that takes pride in just being the one thing all their lives.
Well, a lot of people do strive to not change. We all try to get ourselves to as good a spot as we can and just keep it there. And I think this last week has been proof positive that you can't do that. You just got to kind of go with the changes in life and keep moving, right?
I suppose.
Hey, as long as you keep taking steps, I'll keep taking steps. Deal?
Deal.
Okay. All right. And we'll just wait for the shield to be done.
takes about an hour, and it is just a very simple outline. Thank you, Robbie, so much for that gift sub to Lazy Lizard. DM, why don't you go ahead and take the inspiration? Oh, thank you so much. I will.
You can't do that. That's cheating.
What do you mean I can't do that? Why can't I do that?
You can't just gift stuff.
You give sub
No.
someone in your own channel to give yourself an inspiration?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that's
Okay.
scans.
It's fair.
We have to allow him to do that because if we didn't, he would probably get like retroactively fucked Skuro out of all of the inspirations he fucking bought himself in the first campaign.
I just really wanted to give a gift sub to Lazy Lizard, who is in the chat here, because they're looking for D&D streams and are looking to get into D&D themselves. So.
Aww. Super
That's
cool.
cool.
Welcome in, Lazy Lizard.
Can we give away our inspirations to other people?
Sure. Well, no, because then that if someone gives you an inspiration, then you just give it away. It makes them giving you an inspiration kind of
Moot.
What if it's to you?
I'm still gonna say no as much as I'd like it.
Sorry,
Right. So eventually,
I'm hoarding my inspo.
yep. Eventually, you do all reconvene outside the northern gates of Odessalo. Cart and horses in hand, with Ivory and Vanilla up front. Leo still driving along. You all stuff yourself in. The rest of the way to Bisetile is through the Pearlbow Wilderness. You didn't have to quite travel in the forest itself, getting to Odessalo, but you did start to see as it sort of comes in on the city itself. So you begin your trek north. And while the road and the path is pretty wide, it is still mostly in shade from the trees all around you. But begin your travel, which should take about, depending on how things go, 2.5 days to get there. Was there anything that you wanted to talk about on your journey through the first day?
I mean, I'm willing to ask Roz about her goddess experience, unless she's not doesn't want to talk about it.
She will. I mean, she's actually is kind of like looking over her shield, and she has begun just taking like a piece of like a charcoal pen, and is just outlining, putting on the upper right and upper left corners of her heater shield the symbol of Timora and the symbol of Bashaba on her shield as well. She'll eventually get those etched in, but right now it's just got the symbol. She kind of glances over.
Seem to have found something new.
Yeah, it was. I was just finishing up my prayers, and I was told about the Changebringer, who is not a god or a goddess in my world, and her tenets and teachings are, well, they kind of go with me. I get them. Also, we're supposed to seek out great change, and she's literally called the Changebringer.
Good. Do I know anything about the Changebringer, or should I make a religion roll?
Go ahead and make a religion check for me.
Okay, let's see if that goes anywhere. 15?
Yeah, you through your time in the archives, down in the Menagerie Coast, you spent a little bit of time, even just taking breaks, looking for what you're looking for, to just learn as much as you can. So you know a lot of the basic stuff. Avandra, the Changebringer, goddess of freedom, trade, travel, adventure, luck, fortune. Just a lot of the sort of the basic stuff that I had explained to her a little bit earlier. Obviously, you know that she's also one of the outlawed gods in the Empire as well.
Yeah.
I would actually say that yeah, one of the other reasons that you would know about her as well is one of her associated domains is the moon as well. Obviously, not as much as the Moon Weaver herself, but there's some crossover sometimes.
Got it. Yeah, there's your goddess shares the moon domain a little bit, such as like mine does as well.
I know this is weird given that I'm a paladin, but I've never really been particularly religious. Like my father definitely is, and my sister's kind of the child of a god, so definitely also. Not me so much. My mom was always very much like, just make your own destiny. Don't let someone else try and tell you what it's gonna be.
My people are somewhat eternal worshippers of the Moonweaver. We were long time ago. It was because of the Moonweaver that we even were able to still exist. We used to be
It's a good reason to worship.
right. We were underground for safety for a very long time. It's only been the last 50 years that my people have even been above ground. I'm one of the first few generations above the ground, actually.
Interesting.
And, yeah, my father was a major priest of the Moonweaver.
Hey, we got that in common.
Yes, he of course was very strict in his teachings with me. A little more with my sister than myself due to reasons. But much like you, I never really took to the religion at first. It's a little hard to explain, but her main tenets, while respectable, and I of course have a intellectual appreciation for, at times were hard for me to internally.
Except.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I get it.
At least within myself.
Timora was the Lady of Fortune. She literally embodies goodwill and good fortune in the world, and it should be an easy enough thing to accept, but it's not so easy when you look around and your entire world suffers. So I had a really hard time with Timora, and then Bashaba, whose influence seems noticeable everywhere, but she is usually cursed and hated, but she also gave me my sister, so she can't be all bad.
Yes. The Moonweaver is similar about destiny, pursuing passions, little more in the passionate world of love, however. So, a little different, I suppose, in that regard. But
she gets a look on her face. Oh, that's what Kieran meant by your bard friend.
yes, but as I said, hard to relate to. But we'll leave it at that for now. In any case, while it was somewhat hard to not accept her when I started this journey, and she gave me my greatest gift. She kind of looks down at Luster and hugs him again.
So you haven't always had the dragon, then?
No. Well, not the Drake, no.
Well, then that was quite a kind gift. The most I've ever gotten from Timora or Bashaba was a stubbed toe when I forgot to say my prayer to Bashaba.
Yeah, I suppose this is a much more fortunate gift.
Appreciate you sharing that with me.
Of course. Luster is special, and it's hard to say anything negative about a goddess who gives someone back to you.
On that, we can absolutely agree.
All right. Well, throughout the day, you engage in some more light conversation with one another, but eventually, dusk begins to settle. Sun goes down, moon comes up, and it's about time to find a place to bed down for the night.
More beds. Oh, are we outside?
Beds. You are outside. Yup. So it's camping time.
We're gonna have a hard time finding beds out here.
All right. Roz gets very different all of a sudden. This is her domain. So she suddenly goes, like, not drill sergeant, but suddenly she's like, all right, Leo, you're going to start setting up what's going to be the perimeter of the camp. Does anyone know any wards?
Any what?
Like,
Words? No.
yeah, like alert spells if a demon or a monster or a fiend crosses into our camp.
Nope.
How do you all not get eaten?
I know.
I've slept outside by myself before.
You are very brave. Kieran, I see you with your hand up. Okay, what's up?
It's our catchphrase. No, it's our warning thing. Oh shit.
Oh shit, get your
Fuck.
weapons out. That is it. That is the warning. That is what we use when we have to get our weapons out. You are correct.
Maeve is just
Well
putting
done,
her
Kieran.
bed out.
All right, Kieran is on the on the ball today. I like it. Kieran, I'm gonna have you go in search of firewood. We use what's called the buddy system. Does everyone know the buddy system?
Yeah.
Yes. we know
Great.
the
So
buddies.
everyone is going to buddy up. You do not leave camp without a buddy. That's how you get eaten.
Hey, who's Kieran's buddy?
What
I
the
don't
fuck kind of monsters were in Vano?
Demons. There was a Rakshasa one time that I heard about. That was pretty rough. Let's see. Dire. Well,
And
basically
Kieran left.
anything. Just whatever animals you have, put
Kieran just
dire on the front.
left?
We have those.
I don't care, kid. I don't know if you loved Kieran. I just imagine you did.
No, Kieran and
I
Leaf.
thought
You
you
two
heard
are.
lots.
Yeah.
Kieran and Leaf are like a dynamic duo. You two are buddies. You got this.
Yeah.
Okay. Leo and Maeve, you two've got like the elf thing going on. I like it.
Excuse
You
me?
two are buddies.
That's a little racist.
I mean, yeah, probably a
mean,
little bit, but that's
I'm
fine.
an
Don't worry
elf
about it.
too.
You are. You're an Eldrin, but you and I are kind of buddies, so we're gonna go with that.
Okay.
All right.
Very well.
All right. We got our buddies figured out. Just remember, don't leave camp without your buddy.
I look at Leo and I just shake my head. I won't tell if you don't tell, Leo.
I won't either.
Sorry, so hold on. You're doing the buddy system. So we have Leaf and Kieran,
Yep.
Leo and and Maeve.
Yep.
Yeah, apparently.
All right, and then Hermia and Rosalind. Y'all
Which
are
was a
hanging.
bad idea.
Hey,
out
no
with
one's
your
get
buddies.
eaten.
All right. So all of you find.
Hermia's taking notes.
Welcome in, Mr. Vlad the Man. Thank you so much for the follow and for stopping by. So you guys do actually find a decent place to set up camp. You park your cart, set up your sleeping arrangements. Actually, right next to a river as well, so you're able to tie Ivory and Vanilla up near the river, so that they have access to both some grass and some water for the night. Can I assume that the buddy system is also who you're going to take watch with?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, that's
All right.
fine.
I think that would make
Alright.
sense.
In that case, who is going first, second, and third?
Two.
Rosalind is digging through her bag to see if she has any more demon repellent for the horses. Because
You are-
nothing sucks more than having your horse get eaten in the middle of the night.
You are all out of demon repellent.
Fuck!
Uh,
I knew we should have restocked.
doesn't anyway. Leo, do you want to take second watch since you and I only need 4 hours?
Yeah.
Okay, it makes the most sense for us to go second for sake of sleep. So
Makes sense.
Who takes
Uh,
first?
Me and Hermia can go first. You, Hermia, you also only need 4 hours of sleep, right?
Yeah.
That is so cool. By the way,
So
also,
does Leaf.
oh my gosh.
Leaf needs 6.
I was gonna say we need 6. I thought.
Is it 6?
Yep, Warforger 6.
So only me and Kieran have to sleep a full 8 hours?
That's correct.
I mean, I like to sleep as a hobby, so usually I'm sleeping like 8 hours anyway.
Hermia, I respect that. I respect
I
the
like
hell
to
out of
sleep
that.
competitively.
Yeah.
All right.
Why don't we just let them, I need to sleep 4 hours, so.
All right. How about Hermia and I go first?
Hey,
Just wake us up when you're done.
Yep, I'll take the first patrol. And you notice that she doesn't just like sit; she actually like patrols around the camp, watching everything.
All right, so everybody else goes to sleep while
Mhm.
Rosalind and Hermia stay up. Did you want to chat at all?
Hermia's
Hermia-
just taking notes about everything Rosalind is doing and
Yeah.
saying.
Okay.
Rosalind
fair
just
enough.
kind of notices the notebook. Are you jotting this down?
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. I started learning this stuff when I was like, I guess 10 when Dad started training me. So yeah, I guess more
I
of it
mean-
sunk in than I thought.
I know like sword play and like some like arcane stuff, but they don't really teach you to like how to like, take watch or like, be alert, not get robbed, not get attacked by a werewolf.
Mm,
They don't have those classes in school.
interesting. That's very strange. That's like first year stuff back home because, well, if you don't learn it, you don't get to your second year. So, yeah,
I mean, I guess with everybody, from where I'm from, they just assume they can just use their money to like buy a in somewhere.
But so you don't? I guess in the Feywild, are there lots of cities? Do you travel between them?
Robbie, are there a lot of cities in the Feywild? I know there
No,
are cities, but I
there
don't
is
know like
not.
how many.
There is not, and you definitely do not travel a lot in the Feywild unless you have.
Well, I know
a
that
descendant,
part.
yeah.
I know that part.
So no,
yeah, there's not.
the only other city that you know of in the Feywild, and it goes back and forth between.
They are so good
you know what?
for you.
Kieran, you can have that sub or that
You
inspel.
get some emotes
From me.
on the
You're welcome.
Discord and some badges by your name.
Is
Lucky they gifted
God,
sub.
Samantha, you are so distracting. Is Singorn, which actually doesn't spend a lot of time in the Feywild. It can go back and forth between the two, but they normally only go into the Feywild during times of sort of great distress or emergency.
So there's not a whole lot of cities, and you really don't travel in the Feywild if you want to stay alive. It's kind of like how your place is really scary and full of giant monsters and shit. Like, you just don't do that.
Yeah, usually when you travel, I mean, I should be clear. Adventurers sometimes travel out in between cities, but usually you just teleport. If you're going to another city, you take a teleporter. Like, no way do you just walk usually. But my group was actually charged with trying to make a section outside of Vano livable, and we were doing okay. It was just we weren't there yet.
Kieran.
My aunts owned a farm out there. It was great.
Kieran.
A farm?
As the two of you continue to just kind of, chat and discuss and keep a watch out. Kieran.
Dream?
You have a dream.
Oh, man.
Ooh.
In the dream, you are in a bedroom somewhere. It looks... Maybe it's an in-room. It's really fancy, though. Great big 4-post bed. Silk sheets. Drapes coming down around the bed as well. You're standing at a desk. You feel... conflict within you. Like there's something that you want more than anything that you know will make you happy, but you also feel like allowing yourself to embrace it is also letting down your guard. That even though you know it could bring you happiness, it could also bring you a lot of pain. And you hear someone from behind you. We can wait. We don't have to do this right now. I can tell how you feel about me.
I turn.
Turning around, you see a tabaxi. Roslyn, you want to give us another quick description of Mira real quick?
Yeah, Mira is
This one.
so she is I can't believe you picked this one to use. So she is a relatively tall tabaxi for tabaxi standards, mid 5 feet range. She has brown fur and bright amber eyes. She is she's dressed like a rogue. You would kind of what you would picture a rogue to be: leather armor and daggers on either hip. And she has a long tail that comes to a poof at the end.
Yeah. You don't see the tail. It's actually bound up in the leather and the cloak that she's wearing. I know you lost someone before me and you're afraid to get close. We can take it slow. All right, we're going to be on the road together a lot, so don't have to worry about you-know-who.
Right. I just...
She takes a step towards you and puts one hand on your shoulder. Takes the firearm out of the holster on your hip. Puts it on the dresser. Do you want this?
I do. I do.
And as she leans in to kiss you, you are suddenly being shaken awake for your watch.
The worst.
No, I wake up and I'm like,
Rosalind is looking
almost
down at
kisses
you. Rosalind is looking down at you like,
Are you pitching a tent?
honey,
Oh God.
I'm spoken for, Kieran. Thank you for that, though. I appreciate it.
Hermia's just poking at Leaf. Are you on? How do you turn on?
that was, I mean, wow. But that was,
Oh, were you having a dream?
I think so.
What did you see in the dream?
So I saw someone,
Yeah.
and and you know, I'm so experienced, you know, whatever. But I think I saw Mira.
Yeah, and what were you doing? What was Mira doing?
Oh, nothing. We were just chatting it up, and then you know, fades to black. and
Rosalind turns a deep shade of red. Oh my
It's-
god!
It's not a dream. Is it yours? I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. Wait, you have a gun?
No? Did I have a gun in the dream?
Yeah. Like, you know, she was kind of like, and she like took out.
You had the
I mean,
assassin's
hold on.
dream. The assassin's fucking Mira!
Is fucking Mira.
Assassin's fucking Mira.
And she is not her, she's just fucking her.
What?
Oh, that's so awkward!
Wait, is the assassin fucking Mira, or is the assassin is Mira?
No, she is having relations with Mira.
Oh, okay.
I'll explain
mean,
her
it's
ups.
Don't
thing.
really know. It really did just fade to black. Like,
Yeah. Right, it just faded to black, and Rosalind, still beat red, goes over and lays down.
oh. Oh, God. Well, I don't think the assassin was a good kisser anyway.
Rosalind glances back over at you. Actually, that helps, thank you.
Yeah,
Oh my
I got your back.
Have a good watch, Kieran. And Rosalind just like puts her head under her pillow and is like, if she could make, she's trying to make herself as small as she possibly can. Be like, I need another portal to open up right now, please, anywhere. I will go to the abyss. I'll go to the hells. I don't care, just anywhere but here, please.
All right. Leaf, did you wake up as well with Hermia poking you?
Yes.
Are you on?
Yes, affirmative.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, your turn. Hermia just flops down on the ground.
All right. Kieran and Leaf, the night is yours.
I just sit next to Leaf and just pout, like, I feel very conflicted, Leaf.
Query. Why?
Well, I mean, you know, it was an interesting dream, I'm not gonna lie. But, I don't know, I feel like I keep getting on Roz's bad side. Like, no matter what I do. And I'm just being me.
I have heard about this before.
Really?
For human interactions, it helps when you give the female a gift of some sort. Perhaps instead of staying up watching, we should go into the forest and find
Oh
some
my God.
wildflowers.
Oh God!
Can't you just wait? Can't you just do that thing that you were doing for that little girl? You were like making flowers poof out of your nails and shit.
Leaf is going to turn, and if it had eyes, it would be staring directly into Kieran's eyes, and it puts a hand on Kieran's shoulder and says, "The power of a gift is not the gift itself, but the journey one takes to get it."
I think Shinsei said that.
Probably.
So you're saying that its worth is only really the obstacles and the adversity that you face in order to obtain it?
This is correct.
But what would she like? I don't even know. She likes Mira, and I feel like if I bring that up again, it's just gonna, you know.
That would be a poor idea.
Yeah.
Based on my recent data studies, I have determined that 97.9% of all females enjoy flowers of some sort.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Can flowers. I can do that. Yeah.
I don't wander from the camp, but like, do I see anything like on its perimeter? Like, just
Make an investigation check.
Oh man, you got this.
In a party that has that has an Eladrin, a Pallid Elf, and then Rosalind, the buff Kalishtar, you get her flowers. I love it so much.
That's a 10.
Make a nature check for me now.
Oh fuck. God, don't give her poisonous flowers.
Poison ivy.
Where she finds the one cannabis plant in the fucking forest.
Ooh, not bad. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay, the best you can find is some dandelions, which you know are technically weeds, but like they're kind of a pretty yellow.
Yeah.
I show him to Leaf, like,
You know, dandelions, they really struggle through adversity, right? Like, no matter where you go, they just pop up. Could be, you know, could be anywhere. And they just find some way to grow. And, you know, and yeah. Is this a good gift?
A metaphor, yes.
Yeah.
But for the physical gift, ensure that no bugs are actually in the dandelions. Insects love to consume the insides of dandelions.
Oh. Yeah.
can I inspect it for bugs?
There's no bugs on it.
I think we're good. Should I? I'll give it to her in the morning. Or should I wake her up
I
now?
don't know why this
Is it?
picture's so big.
You have three options. 1. Wake Rosalind up right now. 2.
This is who they're
Wait till
shopping for.
morning. Or 3. Lay the dandelions on her chest while she sleeps, and let her discover them upon waking up.
You think she'll know it's from me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Affirmative.
Okay. I'm going to sneak over. And I'm going to either on her chest or wherever her hands are, I'm just gonna tuck some of the dandelions.
All right. I want you to make a sleight of hand check, and Rosalind, I want you to make a perception check. How heavy of a sleeper are you, Rosalind? We'll say it's been about 20 minutes. Are you think you'd have fallen asleep by now?
I think she'd be asleep because at this point she's like, well, you know what? No, because we're out in the forest. She probably
Fair
does
enough.
not sleep very heavily out in the forest.
All right. I just want you to make a.
She is clutching at her dagger of warning, however.
I want you to make a perception check -5.
Okay. Well, odds are this is going to be somewhere in the negatives. Perception. There we go. Oh, 11.
Bad.
That's incredible, actually. I rolled a 16.
Okay. You are kind of halfway in between sleep, and you feel like a tickle on your hand.
Upon feeling it, Rosalind's eyes just open. And she looks at Kieran. Kieran, honey, I did say I was taken.
Yeah. No, I totally know. Yeah. I
Oh.
just wanted to make sure that you were sleeping fine. There were no bugs like in your bedroom, and yeah.
You see
Kieran-
the dandelions in her hands.
She looks at the dandelions, and a lot of thoughts run through her mind. Not the least of which is she trying to steal my dagger and put dandelions in its place? But she just looks at you. Are the dandelions for me?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I
Why?
just, okay, look. I feel like there's just been this wall between us, you know? I just haven't been able to connect with you like I have with well, not everyone, with Leaf, you know? And look, I'm no good at this. I just wanted to say I'm sorry, because I feel like every day I say something that upsets you, and I don't mean to. It just comes out. It just pops into my head, and I'm just like, ugh, you know, and I don't want to seem like a dick, but I feel like I am sometimes.
She seems to
Because-
think about it for a moment and looks at the dandelions again. You know, there's only one other person that I know who, without fail, every single day says something that makes me really mad. She pulls you into a very tight hug and says, Mira.
And strangely enough, Kieran is kind of shocked. Like,
Oh.
She pulls back. She pulls back after a moment, and it's just like, Mira has a way of just saying whatever springs to mind, and it's sometimes wonderful and sometimes utterly infuriating. So don't worry about it too much. I'm used to it, and I'm not mad at you. I was just a little embarrassed. I thought you'd had a dream that was one of my memories, and yeah. It was one time, as she like flops back over to lay down.
Okay.
Meanwhile, during this whole conversation, Leaf is just like sitting cross-legged, staring directly at them, just nodding sagely.
Are we ever gonna get to our watch?
yes. All according to plan.
All right, so the rest of your watch passes by uneventfully as the two of you wake up Maeve and Leo.
Everything okay?
No big bad monsters eating anybody?
Deception. Rosalind has been eaten by a rock.
I didn't know there were a rock in this area.
Neither did I.
It's everywhere.
Leaf
What are you
pi-
talking about?
Leaf picks up a rock and throws it at Leo.
Can I catch it?
Make,
Like,
a,
just
make, a
instantly?
make a dexterity check.
Jesus.
I'm not like trying to hit him.
Sure,
I'm
yeah,
just
yeah.
toss a rock.
You said dexterity?
Yep.
13 plus 7.
Yeah, so he just kind of lobs it at you, and it would have just like hit you in the leg, but you just catch it underhand.
I gotta teach you how to throw.
So, everything's uneventful?
Affirmative.
Just really reaping the rewards of life, you know? Appreciating the friendships that we've gained along the way. Just a beautiful thing.
Did you make someone mad again, Kieran? I'm
No!
teasing. She kind of pats your shoulder. I'm just teasing you. Pardon me. I'm not very good at that.
It's okay. Just come out with one of these nights with me and Leaf. Show you the ropes.
I assure you I am not that exciting, but thank you.
The ropes of what?
Peer
Your
pressure.
mom.
He wants to loosen me up. Not in that way. Oh, God.
I kind of get a little bit
That
red in the
was-
face.
that
I'm like,
Sorry, that came out wrong. I don't even... Sorry, Kieran. I know you're too young for that. Anyway,
you
What's-
kids are weird. And I walk away.
I'm not embarrassed about that. I just know you're younger, and I don't want to put you in an awkward place. Anyway,
You read. I just didn't know that you felt that way. So I appreciate our friendship, and I think I just need some time to think about it. So
oh,
I'm
Kieran,
I'm gonna go to bed. It's not you, it's me. I
Kieran,
need some time.
Kieran, my apologies. My people are very different with love and sex. It was a joke that was misplaced. I apologize.
I'm gonna go to bed now.
That's fine. She's kind of chuckles and lets you go to bed.
Okay,
All
so
right.
Maeve and Leo, you have the next few hours of watch to yourself as you wait for the sun to come up.
Yeah. I don't have anything specific for Maeve to talk about, but she's open to chat if you have anything, Leo.
Loosen you up, huh? No.
Ugh, gosh. She just kind of rolls her eyes. I realize I have to be careful with things like that. My people are a little more open when it comes to love and sex, and so I forget that most people are not in that way.
Yeah. More power to you, but like the kid's impressionable.
I
I
know.
would be really careful about saying certain things.
I'm aware. I'm trying to be careful, and it's not even something I personally do much with. As I've said before, the Moonweaver and I are a wonderful goddess. I personally sometimes don't have the same feelings as I was a bit of an outcast with my people in this regard. So don't worry about it.
Suddenly hear a sound, and when you look over your shoulder, you see Luster has eaten half of the dandelions that Kieran had gathered for Rosalind
Luster!
and is spitting them back up.
What are those dandelions from? Luster!
And he,
Stop that.
he scampers off over by the cart and just hides underneath it.
Luster! Get out here! Where'd you get those dandelions? Do I see where they came from?
He kind of crawls out on his belly. You just see a pile of them, half eaten by Rosalind.
Maybe she wanted them. She goes and picks up more dandelions and just puts them back to her.
Do I wake up again having dandelions dropped on me?
No, this is just a pile next to you. So in the morning,
Okay,
you
great.
will find a bigger pile of dandelions with some chewed and spit up.
Or someone like rolls over on him and fucking almost dies.
I don't know. Maybe it makes her feel safer. Maybe dandelions ward off demons in her world. I don't know.
If
No,
that's
but
a
I'm sure
demon
someone told her
horde.
that.
Anyway, Lester, if you wanted food, I can offer you food. Don't eat dandelions. They're bad for you.
So
Lester.
when is that thing gonna be battle ready again?
I'm not really sure. I don't even. I know that.
Technically,
he will.
should be battle ready again since you took a long rest.
Oh, that's what you mean. Yeah. He'll be ready. I thought he meant when he was big enough to ride.
No.
Take a few levels. No.
Ride how? No.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. So, as
Not
the two of you
bestiality.
continue on with your watch, can I have both of you make a perception check?
Oh boy. Okay. Yeah. That's fine. 17.
And mine was 12 plus 6, so 18.
Do me a favor and make 1 for Luster.
1 for Luster? Okay.
With advantage.
With advantage? Okay. What is his perception? Hold on, I'm just trying to figure. Oh, wisdom's plus 4. Okay, so I guess.
It would just be plus 4, yeah.
Okay, so I'll just roll his wisdom. Sorry, I forgot to have to roll twice. No, natural 20.
Okay, so as the two of you are just chatting along, you watch as
Yeah.
Luster's head suddenly perks up. And he kind of like seems to go a little bit on the defensive, like his ears and his scales kind of like stand on edge a little bit as he starts to emit a low growl and just kind of scurries up towards the brush.
Luster, what's going on? I look to Leo and get my bow and arrow out.
I pull my daggers out.
Luster's just vanished into the brush.
Damn it. Why don't you go in front? I'll watch your back.
Okay, I'll get eaten. That's fine. And I go into the brush.
All right,
I
and
go-
as you walk up to it, right as you're about to step in and part from the bushes, you feel a breath of something hot come through, and as you look up, you are eye to eye with an owlbear. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.